This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, direct kick, and it's good.
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Good evening and welcome back inside Wax Arena on the campus of Northern State University. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Harrison. I thought he was talking to you.
No.
Welcome back. You know,
Yelling at the refs already.
This is great. The atmosphere, it's unbelievable. It's just everybody's right here. I love it. Let's talk real quick. Your thoughts this afternoon. What a great start to our 2026 State B boys basketball tournament.
Yeah, two great ones to start out. Obviously, the 8 over the 1 Lyman knocks off Vibrant Hurley in a game that was kind of back and forth the whole way. And the second one, the 4-5, which seed-wise should be your closest game of the day. Both teams, Aberdeen Christian up 7 at half. Castlewood got up 7 or 8 late in the game and held on for a 3-point win. So sets up some good ones for tomorrow. But yeah, the rest of this evening too. I think.
There you see, yeah, tonight's matchups.
Well-matched games. So.
Yeah, we talked about that 8 over the 1. Seeds don't matter, you know, and Sully Buttes has got to have some confidence seeing what happened there as they're going to take on the number 2 seed Freeman Flyers. And then our nightcap tonight, D. Smith and the Wall Eagles will get ready to do battle here in Wax Arena. And again, we had a great crowd this afternoon. I would anticipate another big crowd tonight. Nothing that'll match tomorrow night like normal in this building, but it's going to be fantastic. Let's take a look at our 2 teams involved in this contest. We'll start with our number 7 seed, the Sully Buttes Chargers. And Sully Buttes comes into this game 18-5. The Chargers out of Oneida, Sully County, of course. Brian White, the head coach, 57 students, grades 9 through 11. Purple and gold are the school colors, and the victors is the school song. They got here with a big win over Highmore Herald in the opening round. Then an 11-point win over Faulkton. Good morning, Horse. Thanks for coming. Faulkton was the victim there in the second round of regions. And then, of course, Sodak 16 action. The big win, the late shot with, what, I think 11 seconds or something, a little more than that left. 20 seconds maybe when it went in. But a 42-40 win over Dupree to hang on. They made 2 late shots, actually. One to tie it and then one to win it as the buzzer did sound. And so a great run for them over a really good Dupree team. And honestly, watching that, they had some size. So Sully Buttes is used to playing against teams that have some length, and they're going to see that in this matchup. They'll start this way. Easton Moore, 6'3" freshman. Jet Yackley. Yep, the Yackley name is synonymous with Sully Buttes, right? 5'8" sophomore. Wesley Whitler, there's your guy to watch if you like offense. 22 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists per ball game. He can put it up quick. Gavin Colson, a 5'10" senior, and James Miles, a 6'2" senior, will be the other starter. That your First Dakota starting lineups. Take a look at their opponent tonight, coming in at 21-2. The Freeman Flyers. Lots of people picking this team to be in that Saturday night championship game. So we'll see when they come out tonight. There's a lot of pressure. But the Freeman Flyers out of Hutchinson County in Freeman, South Dakota. Lance Friesen, the head coach, just under that mark of 91 or 90. So they are a Class B school, but one of the larger schools in Class B. Maroon and white, joyous and ever loyal is the school song. Wish I knew anything about band. I'd hum that for you, but I have no idea what that is. Take a look at how they got to this point. They beat Gayville Volland 66-42, and then a 9-point win over a really good Parkston team in the region finals, and then beat Lower Brule by 22 in that Sodak 16 to set up this matchup with the number 7 seed Sully Buttes Chargers. The Flyers will start this way. If you watched this tournament last year, you'll remember a lot of these names because they all played. They were just a year younger, but did play. Taden Kerrigan, Luke Miller, Luke Peters, the 5'11" senior guard, David Walter, a 6'5" sophomore, and Tate Sorensen. Those are the 2 guys that lead this Freeman team. Walter, 18.3 points a game, 7.8 rebounds. Tate Sorensen, 10.1 points, 5.6 rebounds. And you talked about that's the first Dakota starting lineups for Freeman. You talked about Walter being kind of a star on the football field as well.
Absolutely. Obviously Freeman with Marion and Freeman Academy coming off a state 9AA football championship. Athletes up and down the lineup, and David Walter is one of those kids. You'll see it tonight on the floor, and on the other end, you talked about Wesley Whitler, 1,900-point score. I think he's 27 points short of the school record, so good game coming up for us.
Here's PA announcer Ken Hansen.
Good evening. The city of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Central High School, Northern State University, the South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to the second session of the 2026 State B Boys High School Basketball Tournament. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. At this time, would you please remain standing as we honor our nation and its flag with the singing of the national anthem. The proper etiquette is to stand at attention facing the flag. Remove all headgear and place your right hand over your heart. Veterans and out-of-uniform military personnel have the option of saluting. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by Shelby Birch, Amanda Gage, Georgia Odenbach, and Rachel Gage of Eureka, under the direction of Francie Ingerson. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, ladies. Let's meet tonight's officials. First, our junior officials from Freeman, Hayden Dangle. And from Sully Buttes, Will Minihan. Officials assigned to work this game, referee Spencer Auberly, umpire Josh Kemp, and umpire Jordan Opp. The alternate official is Josh Mogg. Let's meet tonight's cheerleaders. First, for the Chargers, Anna Collins, Paige Jonas. The Chargers cheer coach is Katie Steyer. And now for the Flyer cheerleaders, Samantha Belongi, Samuela Belongi, Ang Kamanda, Serda Koala, and Tadel Lanumba. The Freeman cheer coaches are Taylor Franson and Amy Sorensen. The assistant coaches for Sully Buttes, Scott Sefner and Jesse Whitler. The Sully Buttes Chargers are coached by Brian White. Freeman assistant coaches, Kyle Weir and Jackson Fegan. The head coach of the Freeman Flyers is Lance Friesen. Now let's meet tonight's starters. First, for the designated road team, the Sully Buttes Chargers. On the wing, 6'3" freshman, number 3, Easton Moore. And for the Flyers, 6-foot sophomore, number 11, Tayden Kerrigan. At a guard for the Chargers, 5'8" sophomore, number 10, Jet Yackley. And for the Flyers, 6'1" sophomore, number 20, Luke Miller. At a guard for Sully Buttes, 6'1" senior, number 15, Wesley Whitler. And for the Flyers, 5'11" senior, number 22, Luke Peters. For the Chargers, 5'10" senior, number 20, Gavin Colson. And for the Flyers, 6'5" sophomore, number 35, David Walter. In the middle for Sully Buttes, 6'2" senior, number 44, James Miles. And for the Flyers, 6'2" senior, number 42, Tate Sorensen. Today's lineups are brought to you by Channel Seed. Sully Buttes fans, are you ready? Freeman fans, are you ready? Today's fan section is brought to you by University of South Dakota. Let's play ball!
And we are ready for the night session of day number 1 of the 2022 State Class B Boys Basketball Tournament. The Freeman Flyers, number 2 seed, getting ready to take on the number 7 seed, Sully Buttes Chargers. Athletes, football players, basketball players, you name it, they're out here, Steve.
Yeah, I think both sides too. Whitler from Sully Buttes is signed to play football at Northwestern in Iowa. So, yeah, great athletes up and down the floor, so should be a good one.
Walter and Moore jump it up, and Freeman will control, lob it backside. Peters up and in. Luke Peters gets the early score for Freeman to lead.
A little extended 1-2-2 for the Flyers.
And go the other direction, knocked out of bounds by Freeman's Tayden Kerrigan. Now they go man-to-man out of it, just kind of show and then back into man-to-man. Whitler has a block. Nope, they're going to say foul from behind.
You're going to see a lot of that from Whitler. Just a really good basketball player, changing direction, and maybe doesn't look like the most explosive kid out there, but then he's by and scoring at the basket. So.
Yeah, high IQ kind of kid, too, when he gets a basketball in his hands. You see that form. That's great shooting for him. Left-hand thumb pointed right back at the temple and just follows through.
Like we said, 1,900 points in his career from 1901 right now. On pace to be Sully Buttes' all-time leading scorer here by the end of this tournament.
Whitler makes both free throws. Freeman will look to attack now. Walter going to be double teamed. Long pass, good touch and throw. 3 on the way, left corner, in and out, no good for Kerrigan. Rebound taken out of there by Sully Buttes. Whitler will push now. Whitler pull up from about 24, left it short. Out of bounds, and Freeman will control. Coach Friesen with some instructions for his team. Sorensen, he'll go play football at DSU next year, play a little tight end, I suppose, defensive end, number 42 for Freeman. 3 on the way, left it short was Peters. Miller in the paint, the putback up and good. Luke Miller.
Miller and Peters are kind of the two for Freeman, too, that don't get talked about a lot with Walter and Sorensen and Kerrigan. They're 3 main scorers, but Peters and Miller are the 2 that have got the offense going for the Flyers to start here.
Yeah, Miller at the free throw line, as you see him, 6'1" sophomore. Just averages 6.8 points and 3.7 rebounds. And he said Luke Peters 8.9 points, 3.1 rebounds, and dishes out a couple of assists every game also. Whitler now way out high on the right wing. He'll kick it out. Moore back to Whitler. 2 leading scorers.
Moore just a freshman too.
He's got a
6'3",
basketball body, doesn't he?
Yep. We talked about some of those kids this morning that were here last year that have filled out a little bit, and he's one that I would imagine down the road will bulk up a little.
Miller 3 short. Sully Buttes will look to run. They're going to say travel. Yeah, okay. I'll say they had a held ball. Tough travel to call if you're running with both people having. Yeah, that's a good call. They're both got hands on the ball, and neither one of them can stop. Alternating possession arrow gives it to Sully Buttes. Walter wanted a trap over there. He was calling for Miller to come to him. 3 on the left wing, no good. Rebound ripped out by Kerrigan. Flyers will run. Peters launches the 3 from 22, no good. Rebound hit out of bounds. It'll stay Freeman basketball.
You see both these teams too, not real shy on the offensive end. They're getting it up the floor and just kind of trying to play free and
let it fly a little bit here early on. 5-2. Freeman leads. Sorensen will shoot the 3 with the left hand and knock it down. Tate Sorensen.
Tate, a capable 3-point shooter. Obviously, you just saw that, but he really good footwork in the post. Really lefty, really uses his body well down low too. So sure we'll see
in the
that
paint.
later on. Yep.
Kick out 3, left baseline, up and good for Yackley. Jet Yackley makes it 8-5.
Jet, just a sophomore as well, so a couple young guys out there for Sully Buttes. Not looking like the stage is too big for them at all.
See, Coach White has his jacket off now. Wondered how long he'd keep that on. Rebound by the big fella inside, number 32, Cooper Falkenhagen, who's checked in. The other way, Whitler up off the glass and good with the left hand. Whitler's got 4. Timeout on the floor. We haven't even had a break in the action to really do anything with. 8-7 and a timeout called, so we are staying here. We'll do our media timeout on the next dead ball. But a great start here. Freeman jumped out 8-7. Sully Buttes, a couple nice little buckets and tacks to the basket. Now we're back to within 1.
Yeah, and we mentioned it too. Both teams are just kind of offensively aren't afraid to get up down the floor and you know, just kind of free flowing with what they do. They're confident in all their guys that got on the floor to take the shots.
Both teams look like they want to run the floor, too. We know Freeman can get out and go with their athletes, but Sully Buttes says, let's match it. Just let's go play. Nothing to lose when you're the 7 seed, right? You come out, and they probably play that style quite often.
And, well, and look at them. They're kind of a mismatch at every position height-wise and physicality a little bit maybe, but they're not going to back down from it.
Up and in for Kerrigan on the step through, kind of a jump stop, but laid it in with the left. Now we're going to have the media timeout. With the media timeout, we'll take a break. We're back in just a moment. You're watching Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament action on SDPB Sports.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Sports animated appearance. Look at that, all the way from Oneida. He's hoping that it's a very merry weekend for the Chargers here this weekend. I don't know.
It's got to be a little warm with it.
It looks like, yeah, Hawaiian or tropical, but I guess, you know, maybe for him coming to Aberdeen is tropical from the North Pole. I'm not sure. Kerrigan on the left wing has it tipped away. Oh, they're going to call the foul on Kerrigan. And again, Kenner rolled up on his feet. Probably. I know it's incidental in a way, but yet you roll up on somebody's ankle, you got to keep him safe, right? Kerrigan didn't seem to argue, or he just got up and go the other way. So Whitler now. There's that trap. And they drop. That takes a lot of work too. You sit back in that little half court 1-3 or 1-2-2 or 3-2, and then right into man as soon as they make the first pass out of a trap. Whitler can't get it to go. Just about ties it up, but Kerrigan comes away with it.
Got away with one there. Kerrigan looked like he was going to throw a pass and then put it back down on the floor.
Oliver Waltner checking in during that break. Number 32 for Freeman. Kerrigan, 3! Gets it on the right wing. Zayden Kerrigan has 5, and it's 13-7 Flyers. Quickly the other way. And Oliver Waltner going to be called for the foul. He thought he had a clean block. And the foul is called on the 6'4 junior. It's kind of a nice thing to have, go to the bench for a 6'4 kid to come in. And you sit, like where we're sitting right now, look out there. Nobody looks like 6'4", 6'5", but they're all 6'4", 6'5". So that's why they don't look any bigger than the other. Both free throws are good for Gavin Colson. Colson, 11.3 points a game. One of 3 double-digit scorers for Sully Buttes. Walter, foul on the shot. Last year, David burst on the scene as a freshman in that opening round, then got sick, came down with the flu, didn't get to play the whole second round. And I don't know if that changes them from last year. I think it did a little bit, but his opportunity come right back this year. So fun to see how he makes it through the weekend.
When you just saw his ability, and I think you saw it at the beginning too in the little highlight thing they put on, but his ability to just rip baseline and get to the rim in a step or 2 steps. And
that was the first thing I thought of the minute he pulled it that time and went to the baseline. Uh-oh, here it comes. And he kind of stepped funny and had to just lay it up and then got fouled. Long 3 Whitler, no, short off the front iron. Walter will rip it, he'll bring it up the sideline. Into the double team, kick it out. Sorensen 3 left wing, got it. Sorensen with another triple. And a timeout, Sully Buttes, 18-9 Freeman. Freeman has come to play, and when they shoot it like that, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat that. That's a team that can spread it out and score some points.
Yeah, 3 of 8 from the 3-point line already, and a team that obviously has some size advantage over Sully Buttes, but taking the 3 and trying to get it going from the outside before they maybe work on the inside game a little bit. But
on the year, Freeman averages 65.2 points a game, holding opponents to 46.1 points per game. Sully Buttes on the other side, 63.3 and 50.3. So similar, they give up just a few more points, but really similar in the points that they score.
And like you said, both teams, I think, want to kind of get out in transition and go a little bit. Not that they're not going to slow it down and relax in the half court and execute that way, but they want to get going a little bit. And I think you saw it earlier from Sully Buttes, too. That they can get it up the floor, especially on mist and stuff, before Freeman can maybe get set in their little zone trap action here, too.
Sully Buttes really taking their time against that. That time worked at about 9 seconds on the clock, and then Whitler rips it across the timeline. Three on the way, top of the key, in and out, no good for Colson, but a rebound. Whitler now, baseline, no good, out of bounds. That went up and over, broke the plane. We'll go the other direction with 1:44 to play. 18-9 our score.
Those are the shots, too, that you're going to live with if you're Sully Buttes and Coach White, especially on a second chance opportunity. And Whitler, a great job of relocating to the corner. And he's a kid that you don't want to let get going if you're Freeman.
He's got 1,904 points. And all of a sudden, off the bench, Tannen out comes in and knocks down the triple. Whitler down the lane, jump stop, step through. Too strong with the left hand. Rebound, Waltner. Oliver just ripped that out of the off the rim. Coach Friesen sharing a smile with Tannen out as he comes out after he hit that three. Tannen's still smiling on the bench. Waltner swings it to Kerrigan. Kerrigan now back to Walter. David, crossover. Kerrigan three again. Kerrigan with his second three-pointer. And it's 24-9 Freeman.
Kerrigan, if you remember last year, too, as a freshman, didn't really shoot it from the outside a lot. His game was more trying to get to the basket and a little floater game and that kind of stuff, but already a couple threes early.
A lot of contact. Whitler maybe lost control. They're not going to bail him out on that. Sorensen swinging up top. Inside. Oh, Waltner wasn't ready for it. That was a quick touch pass from Peters.
Great look from Peters. I thought Peters had great defensive position on this end too. Whitler just kind of went into him and play on from the officials.
When again, when you start to make that move and you bring that ball up and over your head, I think officials look like, okay, you're not making a real hard attempt to the basket, trying to step through people. They have a right to the spot also. Yackley now with a double team, gets it to Whitler. Whitler right next to the sideline. 6, 5, 4, down to 3, 2, inside. Turnaround, more, got it to go. The freshman at the buzzer gets his first basket of the quarter. At the end of 8 minutes, it's Freeman 24, Sully Buttes 11. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
From Wax Arena in the Barnett Center, there's another shot of Santa. He's a little more into it now. Young fans dressed up. High school students are dressed up. The parents have gotten into it now. That's another fun part about state tournaments. It's really turned into just a community event.
We mentioned it earlier too, but a great crowd already this evening too.
Filling up on the sides for sure. Peters will swing it up top. Walter kick it. Kerrigan feeling it. Too strong. Taken by Sully Buttes. Yackley way out high, going to try to reset things. What are the adjustments Coach White makes against this pressure defense at the half court? They really look to trap anytime they can. Well, it didn't travel, but it bounced around like a pinball. And a 3 for Gavin Coulson.
That's going to be a big factor for Sully Buttes too, is who can provide some scoring besides Whitler.
Walter's got a little blood on the back of his shorts there on the left-hand side. That not saturated yet, but if somebody else is bleeding out there, they might make and change those. Foul going to be whistled on number 20. Gavin Coulson, his first personal. They'll take Walter out. Going to get a little break. He didn't want to come out. Coach Friesen said, sit down. You're getting a break right now. Waltner can't quite finish it with the left hand. Off the glass and good. Whitler. And a blocking foul. Looks to me like Sully Buttes not afraid to just run right back at Freeman.
Yeah. Well, I think with their size, I think that's one of the things too. Sully Buttes wants to get some easy ones in transition, so it's
two fouls, Luke Miller, so that allows David Walton to come right back in. And Whitler makes good on the three-point play opportunity. He's got 7 in the quarter, or 7 in the game rather. It's 24-17 all of a sudden. Miller to Walter. Walter. There's a step through, bring it down and go back up. Misses it off the bottom of the rim. Whitler the other way. He's not afraid to take it in traffic, is he? He'll go against anybody.
No. And just having to adjust his shot there too a little bit. It's kind of what, with the size of Freeman, to Whitler pointing out the blood on Walter's uniform now.
Yeah, he did.
Get him out of there.
Well, that, and it also gives him a break.
Yeah.
I think he's a little tired. He's like, stops by Coach White. They're going to run him back and try to get that cleaned up. So they'll just sub. He's not going to be able to do it in the allotted 20 seconds or whatever they get. So everybody's wondering what's going on. Why is he going? Nobody saw it, but he'll be back. Kerrigan. Miller swinging around Sorensen. Now Waltner. Oliver will go up top. Kerrigan for 3. Dead on. Got it. Straightaway 3 for Taden Kerrigan. He's got 11 3 threes. Good catch by the tight end Sorensen. That one was saved hard into him.
Coulson was open in the corner, but just couldn't handle the pass.
We're going to have a foul. Right, though? They're saying it was out of bounds?
I think so.
I can go off the top of it. They didn't hit anything. Did it hit the shot clock? I thought it just went off the side of the back, or the top of the backboard. Way out to the right side, Yackley. Yackley looking inside. Falkenhagen trying to post up inside. Down to 15 on the shot clock now for Sully Buttes. Whitler being chased around by Kerrigan. They'll switch it up. The Yackley left baseline, no. Oliver Waltner will grab it, send it out. Sorensen thought about it.
Was going up, yep.
Waltner, right wing. Throw it back out, and another 3 for 10 and out. 1 a quarter, and you average 12 points a game.
It's so hard to defend, though, when you got bigs and you can throw it inside and play inside out like that, and especially when you're knocking down shots like Freeman has been doing.
See if we can get their attention. We should have a media timeout. 4:31 to play. We'll go to our media timeout. It's 30-17. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
From Walks Arena, inside the Barnett Center on the campus of Northern State University. The beautiful burgundy and gold, maroon and gold, if you will. Oh, sorry, Steve. I'm sorry about that. I couldn't resist. I didn't wear.
You gotta
I
like
got blue
that
for
northern.
later.
You gotta
I
like
got
those
blue for
northern
later.
colors.
Yeah, that's right. Lay out high now to Whitler to get it started. Yackley swinging around right wing. Wilson back to Yackley. Now Whitler. Out top Yackley. Whitler on the baseline, hanging out short corner, then step in, floated over the top.
Good look from Yackley on the penetration off the top. And
I like that set just by Sully Boots to put him in the corner, get your best shooter down to your score. He can go wherever he wants from there. He obviously can pass it as well. Whitler, a lot of contact. He's not the thickest of kids, so you wonder when you get to this state tournament, it is just a little more, they let you play through some of that. Will that wear on him as the game goes on? Because he don't come out much.
no, he won't come out, but I think he's a lot more physical and stronger than he really looks too, though. So was their starting quarterback and went to the Dome, I think, a year ago. State champs, I believe. And
he was the MVP in that game also. He's guarding Walter, so not only does he lead him offensively, he's playing on the other team's top score. That's a travel. They're gonna call a held ball.
Jump first. Yeah, it looked like Tate when he went down and rolled over.
I asked that at our Sodak 16 game, and they gave me this one. Scotty McNamee, no control.
I asked in our region game too, and they said he only rolled over on one cheek. So
is that what they told you? Oh, so you get two cheeks? You can go either cheek?
Yeah, I guess it wasn't a full roll or something.
Interesting. It's a good answer anyway, right? As long as I get an answer, usually that's all I need. Just answer me. That's all I
make
care.
something up. Or
don't say that. Whitler. Spin move, but he kept the dribble, so that's more of a reverse pivot then right there when you keep that dribble.
Yeah, as long as you keep the dribble alive, it's a legal move. It's when you pick your dribble up, and then when do the feet come down?
Whitler, long three, short again. He's about a foot deep every time on that three. So he leaves it short.
Yeah, everything's just front rim, so.
Kerrigan's been out a while. He'll be in shortly, I'm assuming. Battle for the rebound. Miles kept it alive. Timeout, Coach White. He wants to talk things over. I think this is going to be a full timeout. It is. We're going to keep it right here, 30-19. I don't know. There's a good look at Coach White, but guys, if we get a shot of the Freeman cheerleaders here, they did a special on them this last week on what they did. These girls are fantastic. They're the energy that they have. I watched a special on them last week. If you get a chance to watch, they bring it every single cheer that they're out there on the floor. So Spirit of Six award will be handed out, by the way, on Saturday night, halftime of the championship game, along with the Spirit of Sioux award. We've got some other awards to be handed out here throughout the weekend. Hall of Shrine award, I believe, will be handed out. Some officiating awards. Just got to find my schedule.
John Wooden award, I think, to
one of them. Yep. Posthumously to Mark Sefner, I would assume. Lynn Frederick was already done. They did him last weekend in Brookings.
That's what I was thinking.
So that one's already been handed out. Congratulations to those guys, though, to all these award winners. So many great folks around the state of South Dakota that do so many things for our kids so that they're able to be out here and be in a state tournament and perform, and that's kind of a fun thing to do. Yep, the Larry Lutens Award be handed out again. That's tomorrow night, I believe. Moore will send it down to the baseline again. Whitmer likes to sit down that short corner, doesn't he?
He does, but look how much attention he draws when he...
Right up until he was wide open.
That first catch, Bo, the 4 Freeman guys around him, and then he gave it up, and then he just stays in that short corner.
Yeah.
That's almost like that play before when they found him, too. He just, once he gives it up, they lose track of him.
Yeah, they got knocked to the ground. Peters just stepped in and they had a little collision. And his backside knocked him right to the floor. Whitler give it back up to Yackley. And Sully Buttes will reset. Reminder, we'll catch up with the head coach leading at the half. Probably going to be Lance Friesen the way it looks here, unless a monster run for in and out, no good. Rebound, Waltner. We'll give it up to David Walter. Under a minute to play in the half. Walter down the lane. Little dipsy, little do, and got it to go. David Walter.
Just his length, he just kind of hangs and still has the ability to get it up to the rim. Makes him a tough guard for sure.
Well, it's just a matchup nightmare. Can't put a big on him because he'll go right by you. Put a guard on him, he takes you into the post. Short again. And Freeman will hold for one shot. Or at least that's what Coach Friesen wants them to do. Walter gonna wait till probably about 6 on the shot clock. Now it's 8 on the game clock. He'll start to attack. Now at 5, 4, 3, swing it. Peters, 3, in and out, no good. We'll switch over to the handheld, catch up with Coach Friesen. A fantastic first half for the Freeman Flyers as they jump out to a 32-21 lead to open up this first game of the night session. We'll talk with Coach Friesen, see it is taking what he thought they wanted to do and if he feels like they accomplished that. As they get ready to head down, we'll catch him on their way by. He's gonna grab a little drink. Take your drink, you need one, buddy. You've been working hard over there. Lance Friesen joins us. Coach, great first half, 32-21 lead. Talk about how your kids came out, played immensely hard on defense.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on defense. I think the kids have bought into everything we do, and we like to get up and pressure in our own way and try not to give up layups with that pressure. I think we got to rebound better, but overall, kids played really hard. Got to be proud of them.
What's the keys at halftime as you go in and talk to the kids about coming out right away in the second half?
I'd like to see us take care of the ball a hair better and take better looks, but defensively, just everybody be engaged every possession, all possession, and try to reach greatness.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck.
Thank you.
You bet. Lance Friesen, he's got some things to talk about with his team. We'll talk about it when we come back. You're watching Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament action on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Back in Walks Arena in the Barnett Center, campus of Northern State University. Joe, I'm supposed to pass along to you live on the air. Hi from the ladies in Menno. So Menno's watching tonight. She's waving back at all you guys down in Menno tonight. So Roosters is rocking, and they're waiting for your return, Joe. That's what I'm supposed to tell you. Anyway, welcome back inside. Joe Alk is actually kind of the lead, not the lead official, but she's helping with all the officials, making sure the replay computer's ready to go. So what is her title? I didn't even look at what it was over there. You said something earlier.
Sure. Official coordinator or something?
Officials coordinator. There you go. So she's making sure they got what they need. Your take on that first half, echo what Coach Friesen said a little bit, I'm sure, just the way they came out and got after it.
It was interesting to hear him say he wants his kids to take care of the basketball a little bit better. Only 4 turnovers in that first half for Freeman, but maybe he's talking a little bit too, maybe about shot selection, and there's times where, kind of like Coach Garnos talked about this morning, maybe that extra pass for a little bit more open shot, but no, Freeman came out and really started shooting it well from the outside. I think that's the biggest key in the game right now. Freeman 7 of 17 from 3, while Sully Buttes just 2 of 11. You know, Whitler's got 7 points or whatever it is here at half, and is their focal point on offense for Sully Buttes, but just 4 of 15 for Wesley from the floor. And a lot of those, you said, maybe just a little bit deeper than he should be right now and off front rim, but thought a well played first half by both teams. Offensively, tempo maybe a little bit more faster pace than it was the 2 games this afternoon, but some of that is just the way these 2 teams are
Sully
made up.
Buttes, yeah, for sure. 29% for Sully Buttes, 45% for Freeman. They're 11 of 24 from the field, 7 of 17 from 3, and Sully Buttes 7 of 24, 2 of 11 from the 3-point line. They haven't missed a free throw. We're 100% for both teams, 5 for 5, 3 for 3. So that's where we sit. 11 points for Wesley Whitler to lead everybody, along with Taden Kerrigan, 11 points for Freeman. We'll take a quick break here. Okay, I got you. We got a quick thing we got to pass along. Give me a second here, Christian. I didn't have it in front of me. South Dakota High School Activities Association, a huge part of the sports and activities landscape in South Dakota. On Wednesday, we had a chance to sit down with SDHS-AA Executive Director Dan Swartis to learn more about the organization's mission and commitment to our kids in the state.
Well, our overall mission is to provide the framework for education-based athletics and fine arts activities for high school students across the state. And we've got about 177 member schools. Those are public schools, private schools, and federal schools. It encompasses about 50,000 kids. About 32,000 of those kids participate in some form or fashion in one of our activities. I think it's just over 30 different activities that we do between the sports and fine arts activities. And in a lot of ways, some of those fine arts activities are just as, or if not more impactful to those kids. You know, I was at state debate a couple weeks ago, and those kids are just as excited as the kids who are winning a state basketball championship. Or we had our second ever esports state tournament this year, and I had a parent come up to me and just say, "Thank you for sponsoring this. You know, my kid has never had a connection to the school or a connection to other kids outside of this, and now this has given him an avenue where he feels a part of the school. It's teaching kids how to win and lose. It's teaching kids leadership skills, character skills, integrity, working with other people, being a good teammate. There's a lot of life skills that go beyond winning and losing and the actual participation part of it. I have to remind myself all the time, I get to come to work and work for 50,000 kids every day and do things that are going to make their day better if we do it right. And we do it well.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. to ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy. Bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
From Walks Arena, I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson courtside here at the Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament. Action from our night session here underway. First half is done with our 2 versus our 7 seed. And Freeman is up 32-21. Looked like they were going to run this thing out. It was 24-9 at one time. Whitler got going a little bit. They were able to get him down on that baseline, Steve. And I talked to Brian White. We didn't get a chance to get him on, but talked to him real quick. I said, what do you got to do to get back in this? He said, simple. We got to make more shots, and we got to rebound the basketball. I said, oh, so you're just going to go out and play? Yeah, we just got to go play basketball, he said.
Well, and we mentioned that Sully Butte shooting 7 of 24 from the field, and Freeman's made 7 threes. So
yeah,
you just can't, I think Coach White's probably happy with their game plan and how they've defended Freeman. Just you're hoping when you're playing the 2 seed and the team that's lost 2 games all year, you're hoping they're going to miss some of those shots. But
well, and you're talking about Wesley Whitler. They're 2 of 11 from 3. He's going to make 6, 7, at one time once in a while anyway. So you got to kind of let it keep flying. I hate that number. 7 or 8. How about 4 or 5? 32-21, we get things started.
Kerrigan had a great first half for Freeman too. So
we didn't see a lot of Luke Miller after he picked up a second foul, and they kind of had to pull him. He didn't come back. Now he's back in to start the second half, so we'll see what they can get out of him.
Well, yeah, Freeman, 4 guys played off the bench, so 9 deep for them, which I think maybe 2 guys in the games this afternoon came off. So a little bit more of a rotation for the Flyers as opposed to some of the other teams as well.
Kerrigan inside. Miller. Throw it out, Kerrigan. Drive the baseline. I'm going to say travel. He tried to come to a stop and drug that foot. Went up with it. Turnover. Gives it right back to Sully Butte. So little foreshadowing by Coach Friesen. Wanted to take care of the turnovers. He knew they were coming, I guess. Maybe he meant in the 4th quarter.
Sure.
That's what he went, maybe. Don't you think, though, as a coach, you think of this sometimes, too, like you said it, well, they only had 4 turnovers, but in his mind, they were in big moments, and he didn't want them turned over on the 3-pointer by Colson.
Yeah, that's a huge, a great point, a huge thing, too. It's like maybe those turnovers are when Freeman hit a couple of those 3s in a row. So it's like we need, or Sully did to get back in it, and they're turning it over. They could have extended that lead, and they didn't because of a turnover.
Whitler up off the glass and in. Body control. Leans to the right, flips it back up to the left, and lays it off the glass.
Get a layup and get a little bit more energy for Whitler there. See if that gets him going a little bit. But
he needs 2 points to tie the all-time scoring record for Sully Butte High School. 3 to surpass. Jump stop, step through a little bit with that left hand. Sorensen, a little sweet touch. trapping defense.
Well, they do such a good job, though, after a trap of rotating to man and still finding their guys.
Long three, Jet Yackley. 34-29, cut the lead almost in half.
That's something we mentioned in the first half. Who can come along with Whitler to get some baskets for Sully?
Just the third foul of the game called on Sully Buttes. Had 4 is all on Freeman in that first half. So clean basketball, physical basketball, because they're letting them play a little. But again, I talked to one of my favorite officials earlier and talked about, like, as long as that's going on both ends, as Miller comes back and hits the 3, kids can adjust, right? They know how it's being called. They adjust to that. Or they should. Long 3, Yackley, no. Maybe a little early that time. That looked worse than it was. Here you'll see it. Long 3, and then watch right in front of you. Kind of extends the arm. He's holding out. All happens at once. And I don't think it was
jumping
worthy
out of
of a
bounds,
whistle.
trying to save it a little bit too, so off balance, but yeah.
Kerrigan, leave it in the corner. Peters, no good. Walter way up to grab that rebound. Peters, kick out. Miller lost it off the head. Got it back. Kerrigan inside Walter. He's being doubled or tripled every time he touches it. Sorensen, no. Rebound for the freshman, Easton Moore. Good board by the freshman. Held the defender and just went up and grabbed it, or held the offensive player, went up and got it.
I think you can really tell that's one of the things Coach White probably mentioned and really harped on at halftime for Sully Buttes was to attack the glass and conscious effort of getting bodies on guys to block out.
In and out, no good. I love when you talk to both coaches and they both want to rebound better. So you're saying nobody rebounded? I'm not sure. Somebody had to have rebounded, okay. And none, it's never good enough, right? Walter, as he floats in, I think he was fouled on the way down that time. Watch him hang. He's going to come right at you. Up right there on the left hand. I think they call that. Oh, yeah, we're going to go to a media timeout already. That was fast. And Falkenhagen picks up the foul. We'll take a break. We're back in 60 seconds on SDPB Sports.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
From Wax Arena, as we come out of the media timeout, we will have free throws for David Walter. All good. David, go to the free throw line. It's 2 for 2 there tonight, and he misses the first one. You know, it was kind of a slow second quarter, actually, offensively for Freeman. They only scored 8 points in that quarter. As much as it felt like they really just, the whole half ran it out. And I think most of those points were early.
Yeah, looking at stats, too, there was a stretch, I think, over just shy of 3 minutes that they went in a scoring drought, too. So for as well as they shot it, there was a stretch when it's probably that stretch when Coach Friesen thought they were turning it over too much.
Yeah, most likely. Well, when bad shot selection or stuff like that feels like turnovers,
kind of
right?
a turnover, yeah.
(38-29), 9-point lead for the Flyers, your number 2 seed. Trying to get into that championship semifinal. join Lyman and Castlewood. They'll open it up tomorrow night. Winner of this one will take on the winner of Wall and DeSmit coming up next. Kerrigan, no. Rebound, Walter on top of Whitler. That's going to be a foul. Just couldn't get control of it first before he came down. When you come down and land on that other guy's shoulder, they're probably going to call that.
Good box out by Sully Buttes there too to create that.
They're going to extend Kerrigan way out, kind of slow things down. Then at half court, they'll look to go. And match right back up out of it. Good cut, Yackley. Down the lane, Walter, get it out of here. Swats it into the ball boy's hands. Walter rises
was trying to, but yeah, the two biggest guys from Freeman on him. He's trying to get that layup up over top.
He was just hoping to get over Waltner, and then Walter showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Whitler against Peters gets a screen. That's not a moving screen, but he moved everybody out. Whitler is now the all-time leading scorer in the history of Sully Buttes High School basketball. Some 1,916 points in his career. Walter at the other end, he didn't care about that record. He's going to put it in the other end.
I believe Blake Yackley was the
name synonymous with sports and basketball there. Shot on the way, Walter, no good off the front iron. Down the lane, and the basket's good. Whitler starting to look to take over a little bit. Called the blocking foul on number 15, Taylor Goodwin. Goodwin picks up his first personal. Walter will come out.
I've had the chance to see Whitler play the last couple of years a few times, and I think one of his biggest strengths is just his change of speed. Like, you saw it right there. He passed three guys coming down the floor, and then kind of a little bit of hesitation, but then just exploded to go finish through contact too.
When you do that and the defender kind of lets up, and then you're able to do like he did. Yeah, Blake Yackley, like you talked about, that'd be Jet's dad. So Blake was played at SDSU and was the all-time leading scorer. Offensive foul going to be called on number 32, Oliver Waltner. Oliver's dad, Jeremy, takes a lot of pictures for the newspaper out of Freeman. You see him everywhere. I see him a lot in the summer, but talked to him earlier tonight. Three on the way, no good for Yackley. Battle for the rebound, no contact. 40-35, it's back to 5, so Sully Buttes has done a good job closing that gap. Freeman has had the answer. Three, no good. And another foul. Waltner will pick up his third, being blocked out, tried to go up and get that rebound. And Oliver picks up his third. He may have to come out.
Easton Moore just doing a great job of finding bodies too, not just relying 6'3" and long arms for Easton Moore, but just not relying on that, finding a body and driving that back. That's what picked up that foul on Waltner.
Well, Easton's got to be giving up 30, 25 pounds. I mean, I would think. Oliver's put together. That kid's found the weight room as well. Left wing Whitler. Slow it down, restart with 10 on the shot clock. Backdoor cut, Moore. Looks at the flyby, misses, gets his own rebound. No, Walter will have it, and a foul going to be called. Good job by Walter to grab that, turn away from the defender, and that caused Moore to just hang on and get the foul. Like right there it comes.
One of those where Easton kind of frustrated too that he missed that little jump hook and attacks the board when it maybe should have just let it go to keep away from a foul.
Yeah, for sure. Easton Moore picks up his third personal. We'll have a sub. Moore's going to have to come out. In will come Carson Miles, the 5'9" junior. So for Sully Buttes, can give up a little size on this sub, but such a fast quarter. Here we are, minute 20 left in the quarter already. This has been a crazy fast game. We're barely 55 minutes into this thing.
It's that earlier start time.
Three is good for Luke Peters. Whitler, one-on-one with Sorensen. Yackley, a little step back. Big step forward, and he gets this floater to go. Jet Yackley has 8, 5 in the quarter.
And Jet just has done a great job this third quarter to come out and kind of get some offense going.
Last touch by Sully Buttes. I thought Tate Sorensen was maybe going to make an effort for that ball. I was like, please, not again over here. Dave Villaholler almost had a lap full of Tate Sorensen.
The second charge. Took one from Warnke earlier today. And
yeah, Joe and Dave are trying to set a record for taking charges over here. Yackley taking it
all over the place.
Still going. Whitler comes up with blocked out of bounds, but a foul on Miller. Luke Miller will pick up his third. What a frenzied sequence right there. Isn't it amazing how a sequence like that, and then the best player on your team ends up with the ball at the end of that somehow. Like, look at this. Here it comes. Could have been a foul there, maybe, but didn't really have contact. Now we'll tip it away.
Yeah.
A body foul.
Kind of a tough call on Miller there, too. I thought kind of had guarding position, and Whitler just does a great job of getting into the defender and drawing that contact.
No good for Whitler.
Wesley just frustrated with himself. He's missed that one.
Yeah, well, 0 for 2 on that trip, and as good a shooter as he is, got to get your legs into it when you start to get tired in a game like this. Down to 10 seconds to play in the quarter already. Kerrigan has been quiet this quarter. Throws it away. 4, 3 on the run out. Colson off the glass and got it. Gavin Colson finishes it at the quarter. And it's 43-39. Back to 4. Sully Buttes has made a game out of this one. The 2, the 7. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
From Wax Arena on the campus of Northern State, Brad here alongside Steve Erickson. Just bodies everywhere right now. DeSmith people have started to file in the place. Wall people have started to file in the place. Basketball fans from Northeast South Dakota are just hanging out, loving this weekend that is State Bees in Aberdeen.
And the same thing on the floor, too. Bodies all over the place and guys flying all over. But, you know, that's kind of the way Sully Buttes has to play when you're maybe undermanned just a little bit. And I don't want to say they're, but just the size disparity, they can't flying around making things happen.
Well, again, the way Freeman shot that first half, you fly around like that, you make Freeman have to work a little harder, and now your legs aren't in it as you're trying to shoot late in the game either, so that changes things.
Yeah, and you know, Freeman's utilized their bench a little bit more. 4 guys have played off their bench to just 2 off Sully Buttes, so I don't think Whitler and Jet Yackley have came off the floor for Sully Buttes, so you're just you know, running legs too a little bit. That
Kerrigan just picked up his 3rd personal. Colson will give off to Whitler. Whitler gets a screen from Moore. Colson back to Whitler with 20-19 on the shot clock. Whitler kick out. Yackley thought about it. Now he'll go Whitler. Pass Walter on the pump fake. Hang, miss, tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Sully Buttes as Cooper Falkenhagen tipped it out. Falkenhagen and Miles, James Miles, those two have shared time at that post position for Sully Buttes throughout the season, and Coach White said they've done a fantastic job in the middle, just kind of maintaining,
kind of knowing their role, understanding, not, just rebounding. And
finally, Kerrigan knocks down another three and taken away by Sorensen. He thought he's falling out of bounds, threw it right into the legs. I don't know that he was going to go out.
Yeah, I think he could have came down with it, but great job by Moore to get his hands on it and corral that too, though.
Three, can't answer. Easton Moore picks up his 4th foul. Climbing on the top, a little push in the back.
Coach White is asking for the same thing on the other end here now.
Yeah, there's no doubt there was contact there, but had he gone up
kind
with
of that
two
shoulder,
hands,
yeah,
I think he gets away with
hand on the back or hand on the shoulder to get himself up a little bit higher, but
Kerrigan looking inside to Sorensen. Sorensen wants the basketball down there. They'll get it to Kerrigan instead. And Luke Miller. He's got 2 threes, a free throw and a 2, 9 points in the game. But he gave his team a 10-point lead again. Just when you thought Sully Buttes was ready to make a run to get right back in it, Freeman answers. And then Whitler.
Yeah, Freeman did not shoot it well in the
last touch by Freeman. Will go the other way. Here you'll see it.
Kerrigan trying to thread the needle a little bit. And one of those situations, too, where it's like you just got it up to, 8-point lead and maybe not the one you want in that situation.
No, you can probably slow down a little bit here for a minute or two just to take a little clock. But, again, you play the way you play also. You talked about that earlier.
You're not going to change who you are and what you've done all year. So
no, you still got to do what you feel right doing. Yackley.
That's to get back to it. I think that's one of the things, too. You saw Freeman back-to-back threes with Kerrigan and Miller, but kind of settled down that third quarter and missed a few of those. It got Sully back in it. So
Whitler will pull the three. Fading away. Wesley Whitler putting on a little bit of a show for Sully Buttes. 24 in the game. We've seen these leading scorers in our 3 games really step up. Camden Keller had 30 in the last game. He's their leading scorer. Kerrigan tried to answer, no. Whitler grab and go so quick. Here's that change of speed. He's going to pull it again. Yep, 3 on the way, short. He didn't quite have his feet under him. Sorensen got it off to Kerrigan. Kerrigan will look to run, and then Coach Friesen said, whoa, slow her down. We're going to take a timeout. Get the full timeout now. Get the immediate timeout coming as well in just a little bit. 4 timeouts remain for Freeman. That was the first one they've called. Oh, 3, that was the second one. 3 remaining for Sully Buttes here as we wind down this final quarter already with 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, just 1 team foul for each here this quarter, too. So shaping up for a good last 5 minutes here. Sully got it back to that, 3 or 4 points, and then a couple big answers from Freeman, and then right back with Whitler with a couple hoops to Sully Buttes just won't go away. And Coach White's just got to be proud of the way his kids have hung in there and played. When Freeman 11 of 28 from 3, gets tough when teams continue to knock down those threes like that when you feel like you're guarding so well, and then a kick out or a loose ball off a rebound or something, and it comes to a guy and they're knocking down threes. But
Freeman, maybe just to take that timeout, calm them down, like I said, but maybe just get your breath back and knowing that, okay, we're not going to sub a bunch going out now. Your last 5 minutes, we're going to go long and strong. So let's get a break here. Get your water, get your breath back. See if they settle them down a little bit. Luke Peters with a 5-point lead for the Flyers. David Walter. Inside, David up and off the glass. 9 points for the 18-point per game scorer.
Whitler did a great job defending him early, and then they brought Easton Moore over for the double, but Easton with those 4 fouls couldn't really dig in like they needed to, and Walter with a good drop step and finish through contact too.
Yackley will give to Colson. Colson now. Fire it to the left wing. Whitler pull up. Got it. That is such a tough shot. I see kids do that all season long, and you don't make that shot just because you take that move. Sorensen loses it. Yackley with the takeaway run out all by himself. Layup is good. Jet Yackley, 10 points in the game. It's a 3-point game. Was once 24-9 in that first quarter. 3 for Kerrigan, in and out, no good. Miller battle for the rebound and taken out of there by Whitler. Whitler give up. 3 on the way. Colson left it short.
Good setup there by Whitler too. It just, Sully Buttes fans would have erupted if that would have went.
We're going to get a foul, and then we're going to get a timeout. Almost 2 minutes. Yep, we're going to get that called here. We got to call the foul first. We'll come back out and have free throws. The foul is called on number 24. Is that what he said? 42, I think maybe he said. We'll take a break. We'll figure it out when we come back on STPB Sport.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
So Freeman quickly out of the timeout. We'll be ready to go as we come out. Sully Buttes will meet him. And we're thumbs up all the way around. We're ready to go. Again, that foul was called on 32 Cooper Falkenhagen. So after all those hand gestures and a 30-second timeout taken by Freeman because they couldn't get it in. So
good defense by Sully Buttes to deny it in. And
now the Flyers with just 2 remaining. Hey, In Play with Craig Maddock brings you in-depth conversations about everything happening in South Dakota sports. Each episode dives into the players, programs, and legends who've shaped the sports landscape of the Mount Rushmore State. You can find the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you enjoy it, leave a 5-star review so more fans can discover the show. It's In Play with Craig Maddock. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts. Craig out in Rapid City calling the double A's right now. And then, of course, Steve Toom on the Class A call out in Rapid City.
Check those scores out for you here.
Probably hasn't even started as fast as this game's gone. They're about 3 minutes in out there, aren't they?
Double A's 2 minutes in. Roosevelt 4-0 on Brandon. West Central up 8-3 on Cheyenne Eagle Beaver in the Class A game.
Luke Miller, the free throw line. First one, high arcing free throw. He's been on the gun a little bit, put the net up extra high, make sure to get it over the top, work on that arc.
Maybe it's just playing against Walter.
That could very well be too. 1 for 2 for Miller. 52-48, that foul was on Falkenhagen. He's got 3 now. Whitler quickly the other way. 3 to tie for Yackley. No, left it short. Rebound Walter to Kerrigan. Kerrigan will bring it up. Cross court. Laser Caught by Peters. Now Peters back to Kerrigan. Kerrigan to Sorensen. Guarded there by Falkenhagen. Sorensen to Miller. Sorensen inside. Walter has it taken away. 4 purple jerseys around him.
Great job by Jet Yackley on the double down.
Whitler, floater, no. Rebound. Batted around, taken out of there by Luke Peters. Now Walter will push. Big step. Missed it. Left it short. Three on the way. Whitler, no. He thought that was down.
Looked good from our angle here, too.
Just sailed a little to the right. Got the iron. Down to 2:20 to play in the game. Give you a little more room. Sorry, I'm just spreading out over here. Inside, Peters just about had the chance for the three-point play. Rims out. Good cut off that screen. No help.
Yeah,
there you see the foul and more.
Flex action.
Easton will foul out of the game. His 5th personal. To the free throw line goes Luke Miller again. He'll have 2 more. He's 1 for 2. No, check that. 2 for 3 at the free throw line.
Just 2 points for Easton, but 4 rebounds, and I thought he played a well game defensively for Sully Buttes too.
Tate Sorensen coming out of the game. He's probably going to get about 12 seconds to get a drink and sit down for a second. Probably come right back in on the next dead for sure. And Miller makes them both. 54-48, still 2 possessions, 6-point game. That 1-2-2 or 3-2 matchup, they try to trap out of it, and then they're right back into man-to-man. Yackley, good move, floats one off the glass, and good. Timeout, Brian White. Jet Yackley will take a quick break on the full timeout. We're back in 45 seconds on SDPB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Hey, buddy.
Watts Arena in Aberdeen, and we've got 1:51 to play. Thank you, Aaron Lockman. Aaron is listening in, watching in, I should say, from Freeman tonight. Apparently he couldn't get away, so he's cheering for the Flyers. Everybody else from Freeman is here. I'm not sure why you're not, Aaron, but thanks for having us on anyway. Somebody had to stay home and patrol the neighborhood, I suppose. He's probably got a pizza from the local establishment there and enjoying it. 3 on the way, good. Kerrigan with the triple. And a foul on Kerrigan. So Tatum picks up his 4th. Everybody comes to tell him, don't talk, don't worry about it.
You just kind of cut him off too much and that, I mean.
Again, the offensive player has a right to armbar. You just can't extend. And sometimes you get in there close on defense with the ball, you feel like you're getting pushed off when really they're just holding it there. In the lane, Whitler got it. Whitler with 28 and another timeout. Brian White using them to keep that clock from running away from him. 28 for Whitler, 17 for Kerrigan. Who else is in double digits? Yackley's got 12, and Colson's got 10 for Sully Buttes. That's it.
Walter.
Walter's got 9.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got 9.
Sorensen 8. Luke Peters 7 for Freeman.
Freeman's got 12 turnovers. Sully Buttes just 4. Against that pressure, they've done a really good job taking care of the basketball and just haven't been able to. You get down in the shot clock is the problem because you're taking so much time to work against that press or pressure.
Yeah, and I think that's the way you have to attack that 1-2-2 because you can't, that's what it's kind of meant for too, is not necessarily to maybe turn you over as much as it is to slow you down. And Coach Friesen knows that's what Sully Buttes wants to do, is get out and run and get some easy ones in transition, and they've kind of taken that away for the most part, so they've done a good job slowing the Chargers down a little bit.
57-52. 1 timeout remaining for Sully Buttes, 2 for Freeman. Possession arrow in favor of the Flyers. Sully Buttes has 14 fouls, Freeman just 2. So free throws for the Flyers from here on out on any foul. Walter, Peters to Kerrigan. Peters, and they break it. Walter flies and lays it in. 11 for Walter. On the 3, no. Did he take off? He did. I wasn't
That's
sure.
For Kerrigan too, right? It's going to be his 5th.
Yeah, we're zoomed in. He didn't quite see it, but we're going to get a foul called on Tate Kerrigan, or Taden Kerrigan rather, and he will have to have a seat. So it'll get relayed over to Coach Friesen. Taden will check out of the game with 17 points and his team leading 59-52. Luke Miller comes back in. He's pleading his case with Coach Friesen. I didn't touch him. Well, they still call the foul, so, get over here and cheer for your team now. He might be right, but that sometimes happens. Yackley made his free throw. Frustrating. Kid that plays all season knows not to do that probably, and then you're just a little too close. Gets it called.
Kind of the situation too, where probably didn't think Jet was pulling up to really shoot that either,
and
then
stopped
looking
shot.
Yeah.
3 for 3 at the free throw line though, so he gets them all. Back to a 4-point game, still 2 possessions. Peters, 3 on 2, but he'll pull it back out. Good decision. Get it to Walter.
And Kerrigan's, I think, is Freeman's kind of main.
And a foul going to be called on Colson. Second personal.
Main ball handler and point guard, so you're going to probably have to see David Walter step out a little bit.
Well, and look at the size difference now. You've got a lot of guards, 4 guards on the floor for Sully Buttes. And then you look at Freeman, and you got Walter, and Sorensen, plus then the 2 Lukes and Miller and Peters. So
who are
just
small
a different
by
look.
their own, yeah.
But then they're going to get even, well, they're going to maybe go size for size, but we'll see. They go to the bench to Tannen out. Sorensen gets the rebound and misses the putback. Would have been huge, 59-55. Yackley at the elbow to Whitler. Whitler guarded there, and he goes right by Miller. Or Peters off the glass, too strong. Rebound Walter. He's just waiting for a foul. And they come and get him with 29.8 to play. Again, still make 2, it's still 2 possessions. It's just 2 threes then. Right now, you get 2 twos and you got a shot.
Yeah. Tough look down here. Sorensen, great offensive board, just misses the putback. And then on this end, you get Whitler going to the basket, which he's done so many times throughout his career. That's one you're almost chalking up, but just shoots it hard, trying to get it over Freeman.
There, Walter made that one. David, the super soft for Freeman, burst on the scene last year as this team made the state tournament very young a year ago, and here they are back at it.
Tannen Alk will check in for Oliver Waltner.
Oliver's got 4 fouls, doesn't he? No, 3 fouls. Whitler Flipped it with the left hand, too strong. He thought there'd be more defense. I think he ended up all by himself. And then Whitler will have to come foul. Second personal, 18.4 seconds to play.
Yeah, last 2 possessions for Sully Buttes, great looks that you want. You know, Coach White wants Whitler to attack the rim like that, and just flips it up and too strong. And
yeah, just a little strong. I think he was looking for contact.
Well, on that, and just trying to adjust your shot to get it over the length. The Freeman guys coming to challenge it a little bit. I think that plays a role in it.
Back to back to back to back. So 4 in a row for Walter down the stretch. He's got 15 all of a sudden. Seemed like he was quiet most of the game. Now he's the second leading scorer. Just 3 shy of his season average. Whitler, 63-55. Yackley for 3. Too strong. Rebound. Sorensen, he'll give it up. And that'll do it. Freeman will advance. We'll flip it over to the cordless mic. And then I'll make my way down here and catch up with Lance Friesen, the head coach of the Freeman Flyers. Talk about this victory. Steve, your thoughts as I make my way down there. How Freeman just held it together late.
They did, and Sully Buttes, you know, hats off to Coach White and his crew. They made a great run there. But Freeman, like you said, held it off down the stretch. Make a big point too of that one stretch. Coach Friesen took that timeout to just get his guys settled a little bit. They came out. They got a look with David Walter in the paint and kind of steadied the ship for them a little bit, but took care of the ball down the stretch and knocked down free throws. So that's what you got to do when you're gonna survive and advance at a state tournament. So, you know, we've talked about it with every team here's here for a reason, and you're 8 of the best at this point in the season, and every game is going to be a battle. So battle tested, and Freeman pulls it out.
Coach Friesen going to make the trip around the corner with his team and talk things over, or just celebrate as they slap the sticker up on the board. That's come the big thing, Steve, where these teams, when you got to get over to that board right away, because there's some social media out there that needs to have you on it. And they're all doing it, celebrating over here.
Just make sure you get the sticker in the right spot and not upside down or anything like that. But
as they celebrate a little bit, they'll make their way back out. And again, we'll get ready for DeSmit and Wall coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But first, the Freeman Flyers advance as they pick up the victory here over Sully Buttes. Oh, he might have just, oh, there he's coming. He's coming back out. We got it, no problem. You're up, Coach. Congratulations. Hey, going into the championship semifinals, boy, Sully Buttes didn't go away, and you talked about that. They made a run, but your kids just played with poise and handled it.
Yeah, we got a little nervous there as they made a run, made some shots, but they compete so hard. They were really physical, so I thought we answered the bell that way. Just got to take care of the ball better. It's really simple. You got to take care of the ball and rebound.
Taden Kerrigan shot it well early, kind of disappeared a little bit because of their defense. David Walter, who they had 14 guys on it, felt like he found it late in the game.
Yeah, we thought we loosened them up with some shooters, and we got a lot of shooters, so I think it's hard to help off them, but I think you got to guard David too, so I get the game plan. So everybody's got to be ready to contribute because they know they'll focus on him.
Most of Freeman seems to be in Aberdeen, but for those that aren't, they're going to get up here tomorrow night. You're in the championship semis. Feels pretty good.
Oh, yeah, this is great. The kids have worked so hard, and I'm just so glad their work has been rewarded.
Congratulations. Best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
You bet. Lance Friesen, head coach of the Freeman Flyers. We'll take a break, come back and get ready for DeSmit and Wall coming up on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Inside Walks Arena, I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. And Steve, as we roll some highlights, talk about some of those stats from that second half.
Yeah, an 8-point victory for Freeman, and Coach Friesen harps on turning it over and rebounded more. Well, 12 turnovers for the game at the speed or tempo they play is pretty good. 35 rebounds, out-rebounded Sully Buttes by 10. So, you know, I think those two areas, like you said, a coach that kind of harps on those, but Freeman did a really good job of answering as Sully Buttes kind of closed in there in that second half. But you mentioned it, Kerrigan 17 points, shot the ball really well from deep early, hit a couple late in the game for him. And then David Walter showed up down the stretch, 15 points, ended with 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Luke Miller with 10 points for Freeman. On the other side, game effort from Sully Buttes. They didn't go away. There was that opportunity. You mentioned it a couple different times, down big in the first quarter. But that group just battled and continued to stick with it. Wesley Whitler finishes with 28 points, 8 rebounds. Jet Yackley with 15 points and 6 rebounds. And I thought Jet was huge for them in the third quarter to kind of pull them back in that stretch. But again, like you had mentioned too, Freeman just, when it got a little bit closer, Freeman got themselves settled down a little bit, answered the bell, and kind of made those plays when they needed to keep the distance.
63-55, Freeman over Sully Buttes. We've got a story we're going to tell you about when we come back. Take a quick break. Come back and get to that when we return here on SDPB Sport.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
I never expected RAGBRAI to be such a community. RAGBRAI, here we go.
We don't leave the ride the same way as we began it.
It's so fun to just have a whole week off, from your life and just get to ride a bike.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
From Aberdeen and Walks Arena at the Barnett Center, I'm Brad DeBeer along with Steve Erickson. Hey, the Elkton Lake Benton girls basketball team hired a new head coach this year that had plenty within the school are excited about. What makes Mallory Babb unique is her age. She's one of the youngest head coaches in all of South Dakota. Most weeks she spends her days studying textbooks and then nights dissecting playbooks.
Elkton Lake Benton's Mallory Babb is a lot like many first-year coaches, trying to find the balance between life on the sidelines and life in the classroom.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have almost a full day of classes from 10 to 2:50 or 1:50. And then after that, I really go straight to practice or games, or I'm just getting ready to go do my job. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my lighter schedule for classes, so I do have a little break time. That's a lot of time where I like to watch film or do what I can to prepare the girls for practice or games, and then I end up going to practice or the games, and I'm getting ready to go and getting these girls prepared for what they need to do.
The difference between Coach Babb and many other first-year coaches, instead of teaching classes, well, she's taking them as a sophomore at SDSU. But how did this 19-year-old get the helm of a Class A program? Well, it all starts a year ago.
I knew a lot of people. The SDSU assistant basketball coach here, Shelby Sellen, she was my freshman year basketball coach at Brandon Valley, and she asked me at first to be a manager for the SDSU women's basketball team. I decided to decline, just wanted to focus on school. And now an old Brandon Middle School teacher, she's now the principal at Elkton, texted Sellen and was like, hey, we need a JV girls basketball coach. Like, would anyone you know be interested in it? And Sellen texted me, and I was like, well, I've always wanted to coach. I've always loved it. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it on, and got the job on the spot.
After a year on the JV sidelines and the previous head coach leaving, that left the Lady Elks with an opening and a possible opportunity.
You know, we kind of went into the summer without a head coach. Mallory did a bunch of stuff with the girls last year as far as open gyms and camps and getting them to stuff. And then, you know, it was getting towards the middle of summer, and we had some applicants and stuff. And just with her familiarity with the program, having been in it a year, and what she was doing throughout the summer, just kind of showed that it was her time to, you know, take the helm of it.
And with about a year age gap between the head coach and her oldest player, for the Lady Elks, it's a coach-player relationship with maybe a sprinkle of big sister.
She talks about it all the time, how she nears the line between crossing things, but she's very good at knowing when she needs to be each person. She's good at knowing when it's time to be silly, and then time when we need to focus, and she needs to be the coach in certain situations.
Towards the beginning of the year, she had told us that we're still going to be close, obviously, as a team, keep the chemistry and stuff, but try not to make it we're all siblings. The girls on the court, yeah, we're going to get along, act like we're sisters, as a team, but with her, treat her as a coach, not she's on the court playing with us, and not she's our age.
No matter the age, the Lady Elks know they have the right person calling the shots on the hardwood.
Do we just freeze up?
Shit, probably right when I was coming on to be talking too.
I think it was.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
We came across this intriguing story.
Things are starting to get going.
Are you prepared?
It is a golden opportunity.
It's not over.
It will be all that you've dreamed of.
Back inside Walks Arena with the number 3 seed DeSmit Bulldogs and the number 6 seed Wall Eagles. Both teams 19-4 entering this contest as we get ready for what should be a dandy of a matchup. Wall was here a year ago. DeSmit was not, but DeSmit has been on a pretty good little run of state tournament appearances and wins. We'll talk more about that as we get into it. Let's take a look at both of these teams first. Let's take a look at the Wall Eagles out of Pennington County. Ryan Kierstead, the head coach. Royal Blue, Vegas, Gold and White. Washington Lee Swing is their school song. How did they get to this state tournament? Well, in region play, they beat Phillip and they beat New Underwood, both fairly handily. High scoring, as you see, though. They put up over 70 in all 3 postseason games. Sanborn Central Woonsocket just about matched them. It was a 72-66 win for Wall to get here to take on the number 3 seed DeSmit Bulldogs. Your first Dakota starting lineups for the Wall Eagles look like this. Number 0, Emmett Dinger, a 6'3 senior. Dawson Hancock, a 6'4 senior. Jace Moore, a 6-foot senior. Teelan Kierstead, a 6'3" junior. He can put points up in a hurry as well. He averages 27.9 points per game. And then Trevor Schultz, the 6-foot senior forward, will be in the little starting lineup as well. Teelan going to play summer ball or travel ball here after the season is over for Josh Mueller and Kent Mueller, coaching the team with a bunch of other kind of stars from South Dakota.
I think David Walter and a couple other guys in the state tournament are a part of that team, is what they said.
Definitely will get some looks to move on. It's just a junior, so he'll have another year of high school hoops. Take a look at the Bulldogs of DeSmit. They featured the big man in the tournament. We'll talk about him in a second. Out of Kingsbury County, the Bulldogs, coached by Jeff Grunhagen, has had so much success since taking over this program. 70 students, a maroon and gold, the colors. College Boy is the school song. How did they get here? Well, they beat Iroquois Lake Preston 84-52, and a come-from-behind victory, a score late with about 8.5, 9 seconds or so left in the game to defeat Dubrook at the Huron Arena 53-51, and then a win over Ipswich 56-45 in that Sodak 16. That win over Iroquois Lake Preston, kind of an oddity. They don't win a lot of games by 20, 25, 30 points. They do just enough to win, and they just keep winning. Their first Dakota starting lineups look like this. Noah Luthmers, the X factor, I think, for them. That kid can play. We'll see what he does today. 6'3 junior. Slayton Wilkinson, a 6'2 senior, will start. Colby Sinclair at guard, a 5'9" senior. The big man at 6'10", that's Grant Wilkinson. He'll take his talents to SDSU to play some football next year. And then little brother, or cousin I should say, little cousin Carter, just a junior at 6'6", will come off, will be the 5th starter as well. Grant does have a little brother that's all 6'5" and an 8th grader.
Yeah.
Time to turn it over to Ken Hansen for starting lineups.
The City of Aberdeen, Aberdeen Central High School, Northern State University, the South Dakota High School Activity Association, along with its corporate partners Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you back to this opening session of the State B-Boys High School Basketball Tournament. Tonight's games are being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activity Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. The officials assigned for tonight's game are our junior officials from DeSmet, Wyatt Beckenpaw, and from Wall, Dalton Kierstead. Our referee this evening is Andrew Warner, umpire Scott Whitlock, and umpire Brent Dirk. Alternate official is Kevin Ball. The assistant coaches for Wall are Tanner Hancock and Ryan Dinger. The head coach of the Wall Eagles is Ryan Kierstead. The Bulldogs are coached by Daniel Bettine Jr., and head coach of the DeSmet Bulldogs is Jeff Gruenhagen. At a forward, 6'3", senior number 0, Evan Dinger. And for the Bulldogs, 6'3", junior number 1, Noah Loopers. On the wing for Wall, 6'4", senior number 1, Dawson Hancock. And in a guard for the Bulldogs, 6'2", senior number 2, Slayton Wilkinson. At a guard for Wall, 6', senior number 2, Jace Moore. And for the Bulldogs, 5'9", senior number 11, Colby Sinclair. At a guard for the Eagles, 6'3", junior number 5, Keelan Kerstead. And in the middle for the Smith, 6'10", senior number 34, Grant Wilkinson. At a forward for Wall, 6', senior number 21, Trevor Schultz. And for the Bulldogs, 6'6", junior number 45, Carter Wilkinson. Tonight's lineups are brought to you by Channel Seed. Wall fans, are you ready? DeSmet fans, are you ready? Today's fan sections are brought to you by the University of South Dakota. Let's play ball!
Thank you, Ken Hansen, and we are ready to toss it up for our final game of day number 1 here at the 2026 State B-Boys Basketball Tournament. What a great first day it's been so far. Let's do it again. We'll have a dandy of a 3 versus 6 matchup here with D. Smith, the 3, Wall, your 6. Kierstead and Wilkinson will jump it up, and D. Smith will control. How does Wall defend? The big fella. They'll go Trevor Schultz and just try to front him all over the place. Hold him, pinch him, grab him. Looks like whatever it takes.
Yep. Built-in backside help. And
long rebound taken out by Sinclair. Colby.
That's one of the things you do, too. You bring that weak side help so far, and then those long rebounds, it really...
Wilkinson in the air, fires it over to Slayton Wilkinson. They'll run the other way on the run out, and a foul on Carter Wilkinson. Carter will pick up his first personal. Coming right at you. Dinger leaves it on the give and the go to Kierstead.
Right there, you're going to see the game plan. It's going to be to get out and run. And
yeah, you're going to have to try to wear out the big fella. That's, I mean, when you don't have anything close size-wise. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it on TV right now, but Trevor Schultz is standing right next to Grant Wilkinson right now. That's the matchup. That's who Trevor's guarding.
Comes to his shoulder, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Wall kids are not. I mean, height-wise, they're short, but they are built. You can see why they won a football championship.
Oh, yeah. And Schultz has got some shoulders, but again, you're giving up, 8 inches almost.
You mentioned it
10
too.
inches, actually.
Yeah, as Luther's bringing the ball up before, you mentioned it with him kind of being the X factor for DeSmet. Just a junior, but a really good guard, and I think you're going to see his game resembles a lot of what you just saw last game with Wesley Whitler from Sully Butte. Same hesitation and change of direction and speed that he played with last game.
Yeah, he actually is the one who hit the layup against Dubrook down along the baseline on kind of a driving, attacking move to the basket to get them that 2-point win.
A couple different games this year. I think one game he had 28.
Certainly explosive and athletic. Very, very athletic.
Very capable shooter, too. So
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention his older sister, Hazel. She's one of the leaders of that D. Smith team who almost pulled off an upset to get to a state tournament as well. They came within 4 points of beating Parkston. That's a push off. They're going to go offensive foul the other way. Foul going to be called on Jace Moore. His first personal.
Jace bringing the football field to the basketball court here. Jace was the Joe Robbie, I think, MVP for that most outstanding back for Wall at the 9A championship this year.
Luthmers versus Hancock. Slayton Wilkinson down the lane. Leave it for Grant Wilkinson. Up off the glass and good. Nice move by Wilkinson. When he can get downhill like that, that leaves opportunities to get it to Grant.
Slayton is so on. There's Trevor Schultz hitting a three. Which is something DeSmit, yeah, and something DeSmit kind of gives up. Grant doesn't come real far out of the paint to try to guard guys either, and if you got a big that can shoot it.
That region championship game, Dubrook did shoot it well the first half like that, and they ended up having to go zone to start the second half, and it really changed the game and they were down 15 and got them back in it. Something you don't see or prepare for when you play the DeSmit Bulldogs. They don't play zone.
No.
So credit to Coach Gruenhagen to change something to keep his team alive.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. Dubrook shot it really well to start that game and kind of had DeSmit off balance, and I just had to do something to mix it up a little bit.
Well, and Dubrook has, Chance Schoenfeld at 6'9". At least you got some size to go against Wilkinson on the great pull up there. Was that Hancock with the knockdown?
Kjerstad. I believe his 4th point of the game.
Oh, yes, he's got them both. Carter Wilkinson thought about it. Luthmers for 3, no good. Rebound. There's Kjerstad again. 7-4 our score. Kjerstad for 3. Got it! Thielen Kjerstad. 10-4. One thing that won't happen is DeSmit will not get rattled.
No.
They'll play through everything. It's just a matter of can they make enough shots to keep it close. Grant Wilkinson, skip it baseline. Slayton Wilkinson now. Cousins, leave it back to Grant, up in front of the hoop, up and in.
It's one thing that Slayton does such a great job with, and he has all year. He's an explosive athlete, Slayton is, and can get to the basket, but then it's just, sometimes you're not even sure if he's looking where he's throwing it, but he knows Grant's there somewhere and gonna go get it for him.
When you've grown up playing with the big guy, you just throw it to the middle, and usually he gets it. Slayton Wilkinson looking for Carter. Nope, doesn't go on the right wing. Now they'll go to Grant on the block, turnaround jumper, no good. We're going to have free throws, and we'll have our media timeout as well after the foul is called on number 21. Trevor Schultz, his first. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
And we're back inside Wachs Arena, joined at the table by the golden whistle himself. Mike Ruth is here, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
How many years in a row have you won that DVC award? How many years in a row have you won the golden whistle for the DVC?
3. 3, I know. I think we've got the Little Monroe Conference official of the year here today in this game too, don't we, Christian? I can't remember. Wilkinson. Actually, he's the boys LMC official of the year. They have they separate it. We don't at the DVC. We just give it to him for everything.
Well, because Mr. Ruth does volleyball
does it all,
and basketball.
That's why.
Yeah.
Wilkinson goes 1 for 2.
That's one thing you'll notice too. Grant has great touch, not only just around the hoop, but can get to the free throw line. Shoots a high percentage from the line too. So
Dinger will swing it out. Kjerstad left baseline. One dribble against Luthmers and a travel. Kind of picked it up, drug it, and then took that extra step. That foot came down. That caused it to be a travel. Wilkinson gonna get a 5-second call. Coach Gruenhagen couldn't quite get the timeout called in time. Good defense by Wall. And yeah, you want to save that possession pretty early in the game, though. I mean, okay, 5-second call. Let's go. Play defense now. We'll go the other way. Hancock somehow he got that in. Dawson Hancock. I don't know how that
kind of
made
got
it.
stuck on his hip too. It's like he couldn't get it up to the rim, but yeah, good strength to finish through it.
Younger Amiot in, by the way, to try to do what he can. Yeah, they're going to call a foul on Amiot. Just leaning on Wilkinson. I mean, it's all you can do, right? I mean, Grant is just so big. Again, I'm sure Big Brother is here somewhere. Damon,
he's
straight across.
Right behind Coach Gruenhagen there.
Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. Standing front, of course, playing for the Jacks, starting center for SDSU's men's team, but little brother will come play some football.
That's going to be 2 on Carter Wilkinson.
Yep, go the other direction. Player control foul called on Carter. Again, Carter, Slayton, Grant, and Noah. Is it Noah? Nate, sorry, Nate, all cousins. Nate and Grant brothers. Wilkinson up to grab the rebound. Luthmers. Inside. Sinclair has it taken away. Kierstead on the run out, and Sinclair will foul. Probably a good foul. Kierstead's not going to miss that very often. Colby will pick up his first personal.
One of those two that you're kind of wondering, though, if you want to let it go because it's early in the game and DeSmit doesn't play a ton of kids, so they do a great job of playing smart with their fouls, and you don't see them foul out a lot. I don't think Grant's fouled out of.
I don't know if he's had more than 3 fouls in the game, but again, he doesn't leave the lane much. He's so big, all you do is stand there. It's not a foul to be big, right?
Yeah.
Kierstead's second one on the way is up and good. The sub came in was number 3, Coy Van Regenmoorder. Wilkinson. Last touch by Wall. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Thought we had a hold. I think one had it out of bounds and one had a hold. Yeah, it was last touch by Wall. You could see that, but I thought that he was showing like a hold, like a foul. Sure. Yeah, Coach Gruenhagen's asking the same thing. I talked about this last weekend. As a coach, I look at when the whistle blows, is it a fist or an open hand?
Yeah.
It's a fist. Somebody called a foul. And then somebody comes in. No, just an open hand. Oh, wait. Luthmers kick out. 3 in the corner. No good for Van Regenmoorder. Schultz, good bounce pass across the lane. Layup is good. Carter Sundahl. 16-7, the Wall Eagles trying to advance to play Freeman. Boy, I'll tell you what, if that turns into a matchup tomorrow night, it's going to be like watching tennis out here back and forth. Hey, it's going to be track meet city. Again, Kierstead, run out, got it. 11 in the corner for Kierstead. It's 18-7, just over 2 minutes to play.
Right, yep.
Timeout, Gruenhagen.
Coach Gruenhagen tried to get him slowed down a little bit here, but it's one thing you'll notice too. Wall's done a great job the last couple times. Grant has kind of forced him out to 10 foot or so on the baseline, and very capable of knocking that down, but it's just him getting himself set and shooting through that.
Every time he's been forced out to 10, tries to turn around to shoot, there's two guys behind him, one guy in front, or vice versa. So there's just always bodies around him.
And it's one of those things, Grant's nothing he's not used to or hasn't seen. He's not worried about that, but
there's the DeSmit faithful in the neon night for the Bulldogs.
Hawaiian night, it looks like, for the Wall crew on that end.
Good student section from Wall. Made the trip across the state to support their team. I think Freeman still wins for most fans, at least across from us, and that section was full. And again, this is opening night. You see some of these open seats. Obviously, there's going to be some. There won't be many tomorrow night. It will be a packed house. And again, everything's moved up an hour this year, remember. 11 a.m. Central for our daytime sessions, 5 p.m. Central for our nighttime sessions. So get here if you're coming. Don't wait to walk in at 5 to 5. It's a tough time.
Open the doors an hour before. So,
and I think last year, didn't they even go an extra half hour?
I think so.
I think it was that Friday night they decided to go an extra half hour and opened it at 4:30 or 5:30.
Sure to get everybody in,
whatever it was.
Yeah, Wall's on an 8-0 run over the last minute 45 of this one.
And Luthmers tries to get it to Wilkinson, throws it out of bounds.
4 turnovers for the Bulldogs in that stretch too. So
again, just not something that DeSmith's used to seeing is a deficit with 19 wins on the season. But again, not gonna freak out. They're down 11. Defense usually keeps them in it. It's just if Wall can continue this full court barrage, it'll be tough to travel on Dinger. As Slayton Wilkinson will inbound. Full court pressure going to be applied by Wall. Wilkinson has to fire it up. Throws it away. Dinger then throws it out. Oh, it's a last touch by DeSmit.
Such a good job by Wall of just denying inbounds passes. That's about the third or fourth. They did get that 1 5-second call, but then about 3 or 4 others that have been probably about 4.5.
And that one was almost just a throwaway. He just about gave it up, but they do say last touch by Wall. Changed the call. Luthmers bring it up one-on-one versus Hancock. Man-to-man being applied with the little backside help all the time on Wilkinson. Slayton Wilkinson. Jumper no good. Carter Wilkinson chases it down. Back to Luthmers. Luthmers now. Swing it around.
This Wall just doing such a great job with on-ball pressure too. And
Van Rigamore blocked inside by Dinger. Grant Wilkinson with the rebound and put back. Quickly the other way, Hancock, as you can tell, Wall wants to run.
Yeah, you can see as soon as DeSmit scores on this end, you can see Coach Kerstad over there just imploring his guys to just get it up the floor.
Yeah, he's just winding up. Here he goes again. Go. We don't care if they score. Go. Get going the other way. Dinger for 3, a little early maybe.
It looked like he maybe got hit a little bit, but
Wilkinson with 9 points in this quarter. Luthmer's going to slow it down. 9-point game, 20-11. Luthmers directing traffic, wants a screen, instead goes to Carter Wilkinson. 3 on the way, no good. Rebound put back too soon, actually. Now Dinger will get a 3 at the buzzer. No, off the rim.
Good look at it.
They are leaking somebody out every time. We'll take a break. We're back with more. 20-11 on SDPB Sports.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land. committed to the future. Bank West.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
From Walks Arena inside the Barnett Center in the campus of Northern State University. Aberdeen, prettiest town I ever seen. So an old softball buddy used to sing on the way up to state softball tournaments up here. 2011.
Wow, a lot of action that quarter. You can see Wall's game plan. They want to get out and go.
I got a little tic-tac-toe going up here with Roselle. Cat got that one. Neither one of us is smart enough to beat the other in tic-tac-toe. Long three for Kierstead, no good. Dinger with the rebound. Schultz for three with the lefty. No good. Rebound, Grant Wilkinson. Grant takes up so much space. It's hard to rebound around him. And he does have a knack, too. He's always around kind of the basketball. He doesn't leave the lane, but he knows where it's going to be.
We talked about it. In great hands, too. He just...
Carter Wilkinson, long three, no good. Rebound, Grant Wilkinson up off the glass. There's a good footwork. That time got a little
and
back down and
good
finish.
Ball fake. They thought he was going to maybe kick it out, but he knows. He's just setting you up. And
spin move, travel. Almost every time. The elite ones get away with it because they can. The ones that aren't elite, that's a travel, man. I have that conversation with one of my favorite officials every year. Luthmer's on top. In the lane, Sinclair, runner, got it, Kobe Sinclair. And that's what the Smith will need. Sinclair, Wilkinson, some of those other guys to make a couple shots.
I was going to say that last trip down too, Carter Wilkinson had that three in the corner that Emmett Dinger.
Emmett's so smooth. He had a really good state tournament last year, especially the opening game.
Remember coming in last year, Emmett Dinger, I think, was their leading scorer last year. But like you said, Kierstead just a sophomore last year. But Dinger was the one last year that averaged 23 or 24 points a game coming in.
Wilkinson off the glass and in. 13 for Wilkinson. Step 23-17. So just like that, we're back to 6. The runner, Hancock, got it. Dawson Hancock has 6. Luthmers with 5:50 to play in our first half. A foul going to be called.
Yeah, Kierstead came from the backside, a little bit of contact. That's the thing, too. It's so many times you bring that backside help on Grant, and it doesn't matter because he's going to catch, turn and shoot over top you because your backside helps us. You know, it's still, like you said, a foot shorter than where he's going to have the basketball and shoot it from.
And again, he's 6'10". He can, what's he reach? In 9'8", 9'6"? I mean, Luthmers hits the triple. Down the lane quickly the other way.
Wilkinson, Slayton get a piece of that one, maybe?
Just barely, I think. Just enough. Grant got a piece of that one. Slayton Wilkinson will bring it across half court. Slow it down and get it to Luthmers. Again, you see the roles that the DeSmit players are assigned, and they do what Coach Gruenhagen wants them to do. They've been successful with it, so why wouldn't you?
And they're comfortable with it. I mean, they, like you said, they know.
The lead, there's Wilkinson again. Didn't look like he knew where to throw it, but just, I'm going to get rid of it, but right to the hands of Grant Wilkinson.
Thought Amiot was in a good spot there and maybe take a charge on Slayton's pass, but nonetheless, great job by Slayton again to find it.
Too strong rebound, Carter Wilkinson. Slayton now will run it across, 1-on-4, and back it out. Wait for the rest of the Bulldogs to get up there. 25-22 in the turnover. Quickly the other way. This is where Wall has been so successful. Kiersted with the run out. He's got 13. Next dead ball, we go to a immediate timeout with 4:18 to play in the half. Slayton Wilkinson to Carter Wilkinson. 3 on the way. Carter just off the back iron.
Carter very capable. We played them early in the year, about midway through, beginning of February, I think it was, and Carter had 7 threes, hit 6 in a row, I think, on us. But
Sundahl with the layup at the other end. Back to 7, 29-22.
It's one of those situations we're probably actually a little bit smaller in Wall, too, so it was trying to figure out ways to guard Grant in the middle, and Carter took advantage of what we were doing, and that's kind of the difference in that basketball game.
Luthmer's jumper, baseline, no good. Rebound on the run out. Here comes Jace Moore, and he'll pull it back out, no numbers. Moore now look to attack. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound, chase down Dawson Hancock, back to Moore. Jace to the lane against the big fella, and a foul going to be called on Grant Wilkinson. That'll finally take us to our immediate timeout, as Grant picks up his first personal. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SD.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Wall pulling it off a little bit just to.
From Wax Arena inside the Barnett Center, Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson, and yeah, we're talking off air just as you watch how this game progresses. 29-22. Wall looks like they love this style no matter who they're playing, right? They want to get up and down. DeSmit doesn't want to run as much. DeSmit probably got to take some time on some offensive possessions here last part of this quarter, and then into the third quarter to slow it down if they can keep it within 5 to 7 points.
Well, I think you've seen that from Wall too. They kind of, not that they've taken the foot off the gas, but backed off the full court pressure a little bit, maybe to conserve a little bit of energy. But I think you're going to see Coach Kiersted come back with, you know, you're going to come back with that pressure to try to speed DeSmit up too.
Officials are getting everybody ready to go. We'll have those free throws from Jace Moore. First one on the way is good. Again, if you're just joining us, we'll catch up with the head coach of the team that's leading going into halftime, and try to catch the other coach on their way back out. Emmett Dinger will come back in the game. Jace Moore will check back out. 3:18 to play. It's a 9-point lead for Wall. Didn't realize that. That's a cool fact. Ryan Kiersted was a member of the 2009 SDSU rodeo team. Not just a member, well, one of the standout members. Thank you, Ron Scovely. SDSU rodeo coach sent me a text, said Great family and good rodeo guy, too. Wilkinson with the tip up and in.
And you had mentioned earlier, too, Grant just does such a good job of knowing where to go. If he's going to miss a shot, he knows where it's coming off the rim, too, so he usually gets a second chance at it.
Sinclair quickly the other way. He'll just fire it up off the rim. Wilkinson just reach over the top of Schultz and put it back up and in. No contact, easy rebound and a putback. Kierstead fading away on the baseline, no good. Wilkinson with the rebound, gonna slow it down. Back to a 5-point lead, 31-26.
Kierstead kind of had the angle there, and then Grant came over too to force him into the fadeaway.
Younger Amiot gonna try to body up Luthmers, but you gotta get set before you body him. 2:03 to play. Foul called on Amiot. Hancock and Moore will come back in, as will Slayton Wilkinson. DeSmit will trigger the inbound. They've had a little issue with this at times, getting the ball inbounded. Maybe not so much in the half court, but certainly at the full court level. Carter Wilkinson in and out. Grant with the rebound and the soft touch jumper poked out there. Great job of poking it out by Luthmers.
Way to keep it alive and get an extra possession.
Wilkinson again. No, left this one short. Last touch by the Eagles, out of bounds.
It's a bad bounce. Just concentrate so much on getting the box out on Grant that just ball comes off your feet out of bounds.
Little triangle set up over here to try to get the ball inside. Just too many blue bodies around Grant Wilkinson. Sneaking in underneath Van Regenwater for the rebound. Now Luthmers high post. Turn around from 12. Got it. Good decision. 31-28 and a timeout. DeSmit. The Bulldogs take a 30 to talk things over. And on that 30-second timeout, I remind you that SDPB is here for every moment. We're your home for this 2026 South Dakota Boys Basketball Championships. Committed to covering high school sports and activities across the state all year long. From stories and photos to highlights and stats, you'll find it all. sdpb.org/basketball. Don't forget to follow us on all the social medias. Nate Weck does such a great job of story writing and getting things out there. And they've got Game Time. We'll talk about that. Their new podcast that he and Jason Andera started this fall. And, they're hoping to advance that at some point. So lots and lots of good stuff going on at SDPB.
Yeah, great crew. They do a lot of great work to cover all the South Dakota High School Activity Association stuff, not just all the athletic stuff, but the fine arts stuff too. And
big thanks this weekend too to our guys and girls from Bison High School, as they are on the cameras bringing you all the action. Kierstead fade away, missed it all. Wanted to draw a foul, nobody there. He fell on his own that time. Minute 5. Wilkinson, leave it for Grant Wilkinson. Now Slayton to Grant.
There's that pass I was talking about. Slayton just flying around. Just plays with a high energy, high motor guy. And
up and over. Bill Sawinski with a game ball touch in the front row. Well done, Billy. Seen that guy at more basketball arenas. He's probably put in about 8,000 miles on games this year.
Told us earlier, he was at the ACC tournament, wasn't he?
Yeah, went down to watch the ACC tournament last week, he said.
Retirement's treating him well.
Yeah. He's my lead driver for Region 1B cross country in Webster every year, too. Hasn't led us astray yet. The air ball, give it back to DeSmit. With 33 seconds to play, the way Wall jumped out, DeSmit just hanging around. We talked about it. They're legendary at just keeping in the game.
Well, he said there was going to be no panic, and there's not, and that comes from Coach Gruenhagen, you know, and
there's a foul on Kierstead. Carter Wilkinson got run into by Kierstead. And then maybe a little forearm shiver, a little extra. I don't know. Couldn't tell. I didn't see it happen right away, but that's what the coaching staff wants. Second team foul on Kierstead.
Yeah, when Kierstead came behind to grab that loose ball, maybe a little bit of arm, or that's what they called at least. So 19 seconds, he'll get Thielen out of there with his 2 fouls. And
Smith's going to go for the last shot if they can get it inbounded anyway. Good decision there by DeSmith, just fire it out there. 12 seconds to play. Luthmers. Van Regenmotor, no. Wilkinson at the buzzer, no. Luthmers the putback, yes. It'll go to 1. We'll go catch up with Coach Kierstead. I might actually have to run on this one to get over here. These guys are getting out quick.
But good half of basketball. You saw Wall come out and get after it right away and kind of set the tone and the tempo. But DeSmit, been there, done that. You know, Coach Greenhagen's been through it and just gets his guys settled down and right back in it. So.
Coach Kierstead making his way over. Coach, good first half. Well, you guys started out getting up and down the floor. Could tell what you wanted to do, but DeSmit does what they did, just hung around.
We knew it was going to be a battle. We just got to continue to do what we do, get up and down, and yeah, gave up quite a few too many second chance points there late, but I mean, we knew it was going to be a battle with Grant down low, so we just got to figure some of that out. So.
And what do you do going in the locker room talking to your kids about keeping bodies around him, just get arms up?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough task, but we just got to continue to battle down there, and had a few unfortunate bounces off the rim that went their way. So, yeah, I mean, to be up 1 right now, giving up that many second chance points is not a bad thing. So we're going to come out and be ready in the second half. So
congratulations on the first half. Ron Scovely says hi.
All right, appreciate it.
Take care, Ryan. You bet. Ryan Kierstead, the head coach of the Wall Eagles. They're going to talk about it. We'll take a break. Come back with more on SDPB Sports.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
back inside Walks Arena. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson. It's all yours. The show is now yours.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Talk about that first half again. Fun to watch. I mean, the way we could see what Wall wanted to do. I mean, you obviously knew they're trying to go, right? And then DeSmit, after you go so long, you do get tired. And then DeSmit started to just little by little get back in it.
And I think the first quarter was exactly what Wall wanted, and exactly what DeSmit doesn't want to do. And the second quarter was the exact opposite. DeSmit got it slowed down and played more their pace and got stuff going inside. Wilkinson Grant with 19 points and 12 rebounds at the half. That's yeoman's work and a full night for some people. But like I said, Wall, and you heard it from Coach Kerstad at going into half too. They just got to try to figure out ways to disrupt them and make it hard for them, and then hopefully try to find ways to box out. He's, kind of frustrated with a few second chance opportunities, but you can do that and you can get those rebounds. That also allows you to get out and run a little bit like Wall wants to do and go from there. But, he was still pleased with the 1-point lead with the way they, battled.
And you're the 6th seed, right? You're the 6th seed, so you should be happy leading at halftime, I guess. Wall 11 of 23 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. DeSmit 13 of 36, 1 of 13 from the 3-point line. And again, if Carter Wilkinson makes 1 or 2 of those, this whole thing changes. So we'll see how that plays out as we get going. We're going to take another break, come back. We'll try to catch up with Coach Gruenhagen when we return on SDPB Sports.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
From inside Walks Arena, or at Walks Arena, inside the Barnett Center, Brad DeBeer with Steve Erickson and SDPB Sports coverage of the 2026 Class B Boys State Basketball Tournament. The Wall Eagles have made their way out and are warming up. The Bulldogs of DeSmit are making their way through the tunnel. And I see Coach Gruenhagen making his way out. We're going to catch up with Coach Gruenhagen here real quick, grab him, see if we can get a couple of words as he's making his way through. We'll talk with Coach Gruenhagen. Coach, real quick, good first half. This has been DeSmit basketball this year. You fall behind early and just hang around, never get worried, and just kind of keep playing.
Yeah, we're trying to just adjust to the pressure and get guys spaced out a little bit, and
I encourage them to be not behind the maroon line when they're shooting, be right there at the regular three-point line, and just keep on moving the ball a little bit better side to side.
Talk about defensively. What do you got to do with the way Wall wants to get out and run?
We got to do a little bit better getting back. We've had guys back, but they still beat us to the basket with guys back. We got to match up a little quicker and actually take that passing lane away.
Appreciate the time. Best of luck second half. You bet. Coach Gruenhagen and Steve, talk a little bit about your thoughts here as we finish out halftime.
Well, I think you heard Coach talk about it there too. It's like they were in spots when in Wall's transition, but it's just, you know, seeing it, seeing where their guys are at to take those passing lanes away. But I think he's right on too in the half where they just got to keep the floor spread and give Grant room to operate down there. And guys are going to have to, and they've said it all year long, whether it's Carter Wilkinson or Noah Luthmers or Sinclair or Slayton Wilkinson or Van Regenmorter, those guys are going to have to make some shots when Grant is getting double and triple teamed in the paint. So, but spacing is going to be a big part of that, and continue to stay the course. And you heard it, and Coach wasn't worried and wasn't real frustrated or upset about anything. It's just stay the course and continue to do what they do.
I feel like there was a conversation had about maybe shooting a little too deep.
Yeah.
When, you know, that maroon line, let's get a little closer to where we're supposed to be. And just the way that Jeff kind of talks, and that's probably how it went in the locker room, just like that. So
yeah.
That was good stuff. As this game will, again, the game within the game as we keep moving here the second half. Who can make a couple of little adjustments, or who's going to get on that one run and get 3 or 4 stops and then really just kind of get smart with the basketball.
Well, we mentioned it too. Wall really that first quarter kind of owned it with the way they came out. Their full court pressure. It wasn't really a press. It was just full court man to man and really sped DeSmit up and controlled the pace and played like Wall wanted to play. And the second quarter was more how DeSmit wants to do it, the tempo they want to play. And I think that's going to be the telltale here in the second half for the next 16 minutes. Who can impose kind of their tempo and what they want to do to close this one out.
Yeah, both I don't know if you talked about this, but 9 turnovers total in that first half. 4 on Wall, 5 on DeSmit. So again, clean first half as far as taking care of the basketball and you'll be fairly efficient with possessions. Our highest scoring first half, I think, of the 4 games, but at least combined. Wilkinson will swing it. Luthmers baseline. Sneak around somehow, but stepped on that line. Just towed the baseline.
Good job by Wall to just kind of cut that baseline off and force him out of bounds.
So they walled off the baseline?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I guess so.
Dinger. Swing it over. Jace Moore. Lob inside. Emmett Dinger, no, too strong. Rebound, Luthmers. Everybody goes to rebound. When you bounce off of Grant Wilkinson, you bounce off of Grant Wilkinson. You're not going to move him.
Oh, there's times, too, you can just see Grant just kind of have that wry smile on his face like, dude, I was just standing here, you know.
Trevor Schultz just kind of underneath, just shaking his head like, hi, Coach, I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do there.
And you had mentioned it earlier, too, but Trevor Schultz is put together, too. So, I mean, it's just, and not much you can do.
No. Hope for those kinds of things on a missed free throw.
That's what I mentioned earlier. Grant's usually a pretty solid free throw shooter, so you can't even really implore the hack-a-shack routine because he'll make you pay from the line, too.
And he knocks that one down. Venture to bet that conversation has been had a lot with him over the years growing up, that get in the gym, shoot free throws. You're going to get a lot of opportunities. Most of your buckets are going to come from 3 feet away, so learn how to shoot a free throw. Oh, then he forgot to back out that time, though. Schultz missed it. Grant didn't want to come out, but Schultz knocked that triple down earlier. He has to a little bit right now.
Showed a little bit, but then, didn't go find the...
And Slayton Wilkinson will foul Kierstead on the way to the bucket.
It's a great take and a finish on the baseline.
Yeah, takes it up, finish with the left hand from the right side. Kierstead, 14 in the game now. Check that, 15 in the game.
16.
Just keep counting. Every time he touches, we'll just keep counting.
Well, that's the way it seems, too. He can fill it up in a hurry, so stay tuned.
Luthmers going to try to slow it down a little bit here for DeSmit. Kind of what we expected. Longer possessions now. The mishandle by Wilkinson. Jace Moore will run it out. Lost the handle. I don't know if Wilkinson blocked that or not. Kirsten ends up with it.
I think Moore just kind of threw it back over his shoulder, like more as a save than.
Kirsten with a little body. He's moving though. He has a right to a defensive position. Lob inside. Grant Wilkinson from Carter. Up and good. Keep it up high.
Yeah, there's that spacing that Coach Gruenhagen talked about too. They do a good job of kind of rotating their 4-out set, so your weak side help has to come from higher than normal too, and it really puts you in an awkward position to get that weak side help.
Collision, no call. Probably the right no call though in that situation. Really,
you and I had talked about that earlier. That's kind of been the theme of the day. It's like they're not bailing out the offense on those calls. I mean, all 4 games today, it's offensively, if you're going to come flying in there and run into a guy, they're not bailing you out.
Colby Sinclair with another bucket. He's got 4 points. That one on the drive on the baseline. Now Kirsten will answer at the other end. Gets it up off the glass before Grant Wilkinson can slide down to help. 20 on the game for Kierstead. Averages 27.9 points per game. He's done it on 6 of 10 shooting, 5 of 5 at the free throw line. Wilkinson with the drive on a little pick on the top.
Good drive by Slayton to take advantage there.
And that's how DeSmit got it back in it against Dubrook. They got Slayton Wilkinson off some high pick and rolls, and then as that happened, then Grant Wilkinson could come in and get himself some putbacks. As we go to the media timeout with 4:29 to play, it's 38-37 Wall. We're back with more on STPB Sports.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Gonna look at the Wall faithfuls, the student section anyway, here at the State B Boys Basketball Tournament in Aberdeen. DeSmit Bulldogs, the Wall Eagles. As we come out of the media timeout, ready to go. 4:29 left in the third. 38-37. Again, just a 1-point lead for Wall. DeSmit has not led in this game, I don't believe either. And a 5-second call.
DeSmit returns the favor there.
A lot of guys running to spots, but nobody setting a screen to get somebody open. Again, same here on the inbound for DeSmit. Slayton Wilkinson now across the timeline. He'll fire it in. Grant Wilkinson up over bodies and off the glass and in. Jace Moore now to bring it set for Wall. 3 on the way, Dinger. No, left it short. 24 on the game for Wilkinson. Got a double-double already, had that at halftime.
Yeah, it's first DeSmith's first lead since they led by 2 at the 6:35 mark in the first quarter.
Unbelievable. And battled back. Again, we're down big. DeSmith basketball.
Again, good job by the officials. Get together to talk that one out.
The hold called on
Sundahl.
Sundahl picking up his first. Corrected. Yes. No, was that Sundahl or was that on?
I think it was Sundahl.
Yeah, it was. Yep, his first. And then a full timeout as they talk things over. We'll step away on SD PB Sports.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
39-38, 3:58 to play in the third quarter. The DeSmith Bulldogs since the
6:35 mark in the first quarter was their last time they led this ball game by 2.
Since then, it was the Wall Eagles for about a quarter and a half, and then DeSmith just little by little climb back in it, and here they are. Luthmers to Wilkinson, kick out. Van Regenmorter, one extra pass to the baseline. Wilkinson to Carter Wilkinson. And Grant inside position to go up and score it. Taken away by Van Regenmorter. To Wilkinson, handoff to Luthmers. And we'll go the other way. Smith is just buying in defensively right now.
Just getting stops. You can tell too. They like that. That last possession, Van Regenmorter, great job of getting back and getting that transition. That was a layup for Wall in the first half.
Trevor Schultz will pick up his third personal. That'll bring Emmett Dinger back in along with Jace Moore. Out will go Sundahl. Out will go Amiot. We haven't heard from Dawson Hancock here for a while. He was really active in that first quarter and a half, but kind of got quiet. Luthmers trapped on the baseline. Leaves it. Wilkinson blocked, but a foul going to be called. Now we hear from Hancock on the foul. His second personal.
Probably not the one you were talking if you're a Wall fan.
No.
But
Grant will go back to the free throw line. His stat box is filled up across the board. Just such a nice stroke from the free throw line. You talked about that before. Soft touch.
be interesting to see his shot chart from the year too. What he's taken outside of
12 feet.
Yeah.
Those are both good. 28 for Wilkinson. High point scorer of the day was Cam Kessler with 30. I got a feeling Wilkinson will surpass that. He might want a break. He's raising his hand. Or is he just pointing the other way?
I think he's just pointing on the turnover.
I thought maybe he was pointing at
if he's
Coach
pointing at
Greenhagen,
Coach, I just turned to look the other way. You're not coming out.
Jeff turned around the stand. Who are you pointing at?
His folks are right behind the bench, so
they are.
you're maybe pointing to mom and dad.
Mark and Brittany, of course, mom and dad of Nate and Grant Wilkinson, a senior and the 8th grader. Kierstead the other way in traffic, foul going to be called.
It's going to be interesting. Is that
if that's Carter Wilkinson? That'll be his 3rd personal. It is.
Fourth.
Oh, I missed one in there. Yep. So he will come out. They'll get a little smaller, obviously. But when you say that, he doesn't play inside anyway. Like, he faces the basket all the time offensively. So you're not, if you're Wall, it's not like that's going to change much. You're still guarding somebody on the perimeter. Defensively, though, for DeSmit, it does make them a little bit smaller.
Which against Wall's lineups, maybe not the worst thing in the world either. So,
well, again, don't be surprised if DeSmit jumps into a little 2-3 zone just to change things up. Again, they don't do it very often, but when they do, you can see their man-to-man principles applied to it. And they run around and they know where they're supposed to be.
But I think it's one of those things too. It's always easier, and we talked about it with Castlewood earlier, when they went to their 2-3 zone. It's always easier when you got length and size on the bottom that you can gamble in some passing lanes out front and stuff, because you know you got a shot blocker, a big guy down low that they have to worry about when they drive into it.
Yeah, you're still gonna have to force people to take 8, 10, 12-foot jump shots. They're not gonna get layups. At least not in the half court. Lob up to Wilkinson. Loses the dribble, gets it back. Can't finish. Inside, rebound Dinger. Now Wall will look to run. Moore, push out, corner. Kierstead, 3, no, rebound. Last touch by the Bulldogs. They're gonna talk it over. I think they just want to make sure he couldn't see it.
Yeah,
it was definitely Wall basketball. I think the baseline official just,
had a lot of
Andrew
help
Warner
over
said,
there,
I couldn't see it, just give me some help. So again, good job by the officials. Don't make some call, they just call it, get together.
Oh, nice look.
Dinger inside, the quick catching up and finish.
So you got a shooter running the corner like that. Both guys went with Kierstead. Nobody switched back, and there's Dinger just standing there at the block. Well executed by Wall.
1:56 to play in the 3rd. There's Wilkinson down the lane again, off the glass, up and good. Grant Wilkinson put back. Taken away by Wilkinson and a travel. One extra step. He's like,
That's what Coach Gruenhagen's saying too. He never had possession. He's bobbling it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I just saw his reaction to it.
Gotten that explanation so many times over the years too. That and
then when you want it, it doesn't go your way. And then what usually happens is Wall will have the same thing happen, and they'll call that. More down the lane. Wow, that's a great finish in traffic.
Yeah. And to get by Grant too. To
Sinclair to Wilkinson, up and in. Quickly the other way, Kierstead, foul. They'll want travel from DeSmit. Coach Kierstead wants a intentional.
That again was a perfect example. Kierstead ran right into, I thought the defender was in great position. Might have been the secondary guy.
Yeah, they called on Slayton from behind. He grabbed the arm and pulled him down. And that's why I think the DeSmit fans thought there was a travel, because he bumped into somebody. Moore, reverse pivot, kick out. In traffic, tough to score on that. Rebound Kierstead, he'll float it over the top. And that's going to be a foul on Wilkinson.
Grant Grant's asking about the one before on the rebound there when it got tipped out to the front. He felt like he had it, got whacked across the arm.
That was kind of a frustration foul right there on Grant. Wilkinson picks up his 3rd foul. Oh, no, they didn't even call that on Grant. They called that on Van Regenmorter, yeah. Moore makes it. 47-45. We couldn't ask for a better first day. 4 really good basketball games.
Yeah, it's been fun. High intensity and seeing teams just compete and get after it.
The 8-point win for Freeman has been our closest or our biggest deficit here so far.
Which with about Slayton just throwing it up to Grant again. We mentioned that just so good. He drives with the perimeter. He doesn't put his eyes on the rim when he's driving it. He's just got his eyes set on Grant and like, let me know where you want it. You want it behind?
Yep. And again, it's Captain Obvious, but what a luxury to have a guy obviously that big, not just because he can score it, but because you just can find him anywhere. Like you get in trouble, throw it up, throw it to the big guy. Wilkinson makes them both. 35. No, check that. 34 on the game for Wilkinson. No good, and another rebound for Wilkinson.
Kierstead, that thing was around and down and then came out.
43 the record. Just keep an eye on that in a first-round game. First-round game, that is. Joe Seiler. And Regenmorter, no. And we'll go to our final 8 minutes. The Bulldogs. Excuse me, I'm dying. 49-45 as we head to our final quarter of play on SDPB Sports.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
From Watts Arena, the final 8 minutes ahead of us. 49-45, D. Smith has come back to take the lead on Wall. 34 points for number 34, Grant Wilkinson. Record in an opening round game was set by Joe Seiler back in 2022 of 43 points. Most in a semifinal game, or any game for that matter, 50 by Steve Brown for Hamlin County in 1974. Only 4 people have scored for D. Smith.
Something to remember and keep an eye on too. Carter Wilkinson with those 4 fouls.
Where's the foul going to be called? It was called on Grant. He has a late whistle.
Wilkinson picks up his third. And Jace Moore misses the first free throw. Not the second, though. He's got 5 points. Now some full court pressure going to be applied by Wall. They've had some success here. Slayton Wilkinson has to give it back. Luthmers. Now they'll slow it down, bring it across. Skip pass across court. Luthmer's no good. Rebound. Grant Wilkinson with a fake, gets it back, keeps it high, up off the glass and good.
Just, I thought, really good defense there by Trevor Schultz too. But then on the putback, you give up that foot and height, and it's.
I mean, and obviously, at 6'10", you have an advantage right away, right? But you can be 6'10" and not work. And I'll tell you what, this is one of the. I've watched Grant play a lot. He has worked harder in this game than a lot of times I've watched him play. You know, obviously you have to, but he is just doing a little bit of everything right now for this team. And Kierstead pull-up jumper is good. 24 for Thielen.
Well, I think some of that too is the way Wall is just defending them or what they're having to do. It's, kudos to Coach Grunhagen too for making those adjustments and saying, here's what we got to do, and those kids buying into it.
Well, and again, you know, you make the adjustment because you just say, we're buying in, we're going all in to get the big fellow the ball, right? Like, and everybody else got to be like, okay, our chance to win is for him to touch it, and he's got to get touches. So just what you said. You heard our story a little bit earlier about Mallory Babb. Just a reminder, we'd like to welcome everyone to join us for Tales from the Hardwood. You meet a young gal who's juggling college and coaching. That was Mallory, a prolific standout from South Central South Dakota. A girls basketball player who's following two passions within the game, and a young man who has gained strength through a key battle in his life. Tales from the Hardwood, available to watch today on SDPB's YouTube channel or online, sdpb.org/basketball. Check that out. Listen now wherever you can find that online at YouTube or sdpb.org. Half the DeSmit crowd on their feet. A few of the Wall fans on their feet.
The rest of them just sitting because they're kind of nervous. Yeah.
There's a foul going to be called against Slayton Wilkinson. Slayton will pick up his third. Wrong place, wrong time as he smacked his left elbow on the floor. Just happened to be there. When you're down on the floor and that's somebody's legs, just you're going to get that when there's contact most times. Kierstead stayed on top of it. Dinger, that's a tough move. Emmett with 7 points. 51-50 DeSmit. Wilkinson bring it up across the timeline.
And Dinger pretty quiet offensively tonight, but one of those guys we talked about earlier can fill it up in a hurry too. So Wall's got a number of options offensively.
Then Riggamortar, good decision. Lob inside. Short, left that one at the bottom of the rim. They'll run the other way quickly. Three-pointer Dinger for the lead. Got it! Emmett Dinger! 5 straight points, and it's 53-51 Wall.
Dinger making me look like I knew what I was talking about a little bit. But.
Right on cue for Emmett Dinger.
Now they're trying to go maybe a little bit of a high-low look with Carter and Grant. But
Noah Luthmers has 11.
timeout by DeSmit.
Yeah, they're going to talk. You get an extra break here. You get one right now, come out, see how long you have to go in between, but you get another one with the media right after 5. So we've seen that a couple times today where coaches have taken it early above that 5-minute mark, knowing they'll get another one.
Playing with media timeouts is something, not everybody deals with all year long, but we've talked about it. The number of years that DeSmit has been here since 2019.
And those are little things that people probably don't think about, but coaches think about that stuff, and they know what's going on with it. We saw it last weekend same way. And again, it can play into your favor so much in this tournament.
And especially when, DeSmit's got a smaller rotation. They play 6 guys.
Yeah.
Coach Gruenhagen's been doing that all year, of obviously not with the media timeouts, but buying minutes and stealing some extra time with timeouts and knowing when to use those. And he's probably not changing a whole lot over there. He's telling them keep doing what we're doing. This is just for you guys to get a break.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just keep playing hard. We are tied at 53. Why not? It's the opening day of the Class B State High School Basketball Championships, our final game of day 1. Awaiting our 4th championship semifinal entrant. Left wing, Moore on the baseline. Dinger again, no, missed it. Tipped out, saved. Carter Wilkinson got away with just swatting that one back at the middle of the floor. To the lane, Luthmers. Back to Luthmers up top after he gave it up to Van Regenmoor. Hand off, Slayton Wilkinson. Down the lane, reverse pivot, kick out. Van Regenmoor to 3, no, too strong. Slayton Wilkinson, rebound. Falling away, missed it. Grant Wilkinson has it tipped away. Saved. And off the foot of Wall. This will be right in front of us. Couldn't see it. That's a tough one, a tough angle. Media timeout. We'll take a break. We're tied at 53, 4.5 minutes to play on STPB Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
And a look at the Wall Eagles making their way back out here for the final 4.5 minutes, although we'll get a couple more timeouts with DeSmit having 2 remaining, Wall with 3. There's a look at Grant Wilkinson. He's got 36 right now. Didn't even look.
Throw in 18 rebounds as well.
Yeah, 36 points, 18 boards. Not a bad effort. Don't have that record in the book here at all as far as number of rebounds. Used to, I'm not sure where that went. We're gonna have a held ball. Colby Sinclair stays with DeSmit. Good battle, Hancock and Sinclair. Wall with 9 turnovers. DeSmit actually with 11 turnovers now. Wall has not scored in the last 3 minutes and 13 seconds.
That's
what it says. I'm not sure that's right.
I think Dinger hit that 3. Hit that 3 to put him up, and
I guess the time
that's been a while.
Kind of gone by real fast here. That foul was called on Grant, his 3rd.
Schultz. Sundahl, give it up. Correction, Amiot. That was number 11, Younger Amiot. Kierstead for three. No, left it short. Rebound, Sinclair.
Dead
Colby will
on,
give it
but
up.
just couldn't get the legs under it to get that finished.
You can see him kind of trying to work it in with that body language, but didn't go in. 3:35 and counting. Just a double team essentially on the big fella right now, but Wilkinson gets it anyway. Up and in, just powers through. And again, yes, there's 10 inches difference between Wilkinson and Schultz, but Schultz is strong. Travel. Oh, they're going to play on, say he got rid of it. Kierstead three. Got it. Big shot. Kierstead. Saw that in the last game and saw it in this game. Hit the three, show your crowd, and then trip over the guy standing behind you because you didn't see it. 3:02 to play. 56-55. The Wall Eagles, your number 6 seed, leading your 3 seed D. Smith. We started the day with the big upset, the 8 over the 1. Lyman knocks off Viborg Hurley. Then, of course,
mild upset, I guess, the 5 over the 4.
Yeah, mild upset with Castlewood winning. But
Seed-wise.
Seed-wise, yeah. They had the same record, so coming in, the Castlewood over Aberdeen Christian, and then the 8-point Freeman win. They're the only upper seed to win so far. DeSmit trying to make that hold true here for the second game of our night session.
And I think you said what Freeman game was an 8-point game, but it was a 3-point.
Yeah, it ended up 8 with free throws.
3-point game with
minute, something like that left.
Down the stretch. And
the King family.
The Kings up there.
Ron and his sons and his grandsons. Give Ron a text, tell him you saw him on TV. Say we were talking about him. It's all
famous.
Good. All good. Yeah, he is famous. One of the most famous kings of Arlington. Brother Billy's going to disagree with that. His little brother Billy would say, no. K-Ball is over here now to check things out. The alternate official is on the computer. Wilkinson way out high to get that one. Under 3 minutes to go here in our last quarterfinal round matchup. Slayton Wilkinson. The dribble baseline, leave it to Wilkinson. Grant double teamed. Maybe had that tip from behind. 8 on the shot clock. Sinclair doesn't know it. Carter Wilkinson knows it. Got to go to Grant. 2-1 turnaround. No, left it short. Rebound grabbed by Amiot, and Kierstead will control with a 1-point lead for the Eagles.
Good defensive possession by Wall.
Foul on Colby Sinclair.
Little game reset too. 2 timeouts for each team. DeSmit, 4 team fouls. Wall 0 team fouls here.
That could be big.
To get to be able to foul down the stretch, or if you need to foul, then you have to burn time to get those. So I think you'll see Wall be super aggressive on the defensive end of the floor, and nothing easy for DeSmit going at the rim right now.
Well,
with
and
nothing
nothing easy for the lob. If you foul Grant Wilkinson, try to catch, big deal, right?
Yep.
3 straight times, let the clock run a little.
I think maybe even see a little bit more ball pressure and try to get fouls on those guys on the perimeter too.
Kierstead over Wilkinson. Last touch off a Wall, I believe. Yeah, it went off the knee of Kierstead. DeSmit lost the handle on it, just happened to hit the knee of Kierstead and go wild. And now you see it, like you kind of talked about, Wall going to go full court, put a little pressure on. Sinclair breaks free, has it tipped away. Look out. Everybody good down there? Wiped out a table that nobody was sitting at. Deal Trucking safe down there. Yeah, he's good. Checking on the side here, Slayton Wilkinson. Go to Sinclair. 30 on the shot clock. Don't have to be in a hurry on either end. Wilkinson's thing it out. Carter Wilkinson, no good. He has just not been able to buy one.
And they've looked good too. He's had 4 or 5 that have been
I think only one of his 3 attempts hasn't really been on the top of the rim.
DeSmit 1 of 17 from 3.
Wow. Down to 12 on the shot clock, 1:20 to play. Dinger bumped by Luthmers, but he'll play on, leaves it short. Rebound. Is that the 20th board for the big fella?
I think they've updated it, but yeah, I think so.
First team foul on Wall.
19, I believe.
19th.
7 defensive and 12 offensive boards.
Wow. That was Kierstead picking up the 3rd personal, by the way. Slayton Wilkinson. We'll wait for Grant to come on down. Slayton Wilkinson loses the handle. Did he step on the line or dribble on the line? He did. 1 minute exactly. And I think Wall wants to take a timeout. They've got 2 remaining.
He's trying to see what he's got.
Yeah, he's got a 30. Possession arrow favors Wall, or favors Wall right now. The Eagles have 1 timeout and only 1 team foul. DeSmit, 2 timeouts and 4 team fouls. So again, their next foul puts Wall at the free throw line. Foul trouble, Carter Wilkinson does have 4, so that would be the foul trouble for them. Grant has 3, Slayton Wilkinson has 3. Otherwise, Colby Sinclair 2 and Van Rigemorter 1. For Wall, Trevor Schultz has 3, Younger Emiot has 3, and Thielen Kierstead has 3 to go along with his 27 points on the game.
It's going to be interesting to see how Wall plays this out after this possession. Defensively, what they do.
What Wall hasn't scored in the last 2:04. DeSmit hasn't scored in the last 2:21. They're 1 of their last 8 are the Bulldogs. And yet it's a 1-point game, 56-55. No hurry. Kierstead, jumper. Just outside the right elbow, got it. 29 for Kierstead. 58-55, more importantly for the Eagles.
Big shot there and a great offensive set where they just...
Coach Kierstead wants his fans up, make some noise. Gonna get a timeout by Coach Gruenhagen anyway. I love the interaction of these coaching staffs. The Eagles trying to get into the state championship semifinals. He's got assistant coaches just holding him back, trying to talk to him. He's trying to get places. In 2001, they were in the State B, and in 2025, they were the consolation champs. The Wall Eagles have never played in the night session of the Class B state tournament. So maybe Ryan Kierstead knows that, and that's why he's geared up right now, right?
Well, one of the assistant coaches from Wall just brought the referees over, and I'm sure that's one of those things you're telling them, hey, we've only got 1 foul. We're going to foul on purpose here to waste some time, or, you know, just so they're aware of that too.
Well, that's the thing. When you've got 1 team foul, 2 fouls as they're dribbling up, probably the way to do it. Doing a third to get to 4, probably not the way you want it when you're ahead, right? Because then there's a silly one in there. So 2 fouls, keep it there, and you're good to go. How many dribbles do you give them? 2? 1 or 2 going away from the hoop?
Well, I think with a 3-point lead, too, you just got to play it. Just play straight up, too.
And that's what they're going to... Oh, there's the foul. Yeah, so what? Took off 4 seconds. I'm going to do it one more time. When's it going to happen?
Yeah, I think you save it more on the entry pass or when it gets to Grant. And
now Wilkinson up and good. They missed the foul. I think they tried and missed. Down here in the corner on Carter.
Oh, yeah.
The first one.
Kind of tried to have him wrapped up. And
he lobbed it just before Dinger could get a hold of him. And that, again, that's not something you practice probably very much, right?
Coaches are telling you not to foul all the time. Play defense, move your feet.
Yeah, sit down and guard. And you're like, well, you just told me not to do that. Easy when we're sitting here watching.
Oh, yeah. Got all the answers. 15.1, and we've seen it all night. Both teams that have had trouble getting the ball inbounds, too. So, DeSmit is out of timeout, so.
And Wall just has one.
You know, whatever, I'm sure Coach Gruenhagen's talking, too, about what's going to happen when they get a steal or get a foul, and then set up whatever play they want coming back this way, whether they're down 2 or 3 or 1, whatever it is.
See who comes back on the floor here for Wall, but you obviously are going to face guard Thielen Kierstead, maybe even double him with the guy that's taking it out. So you don't want him at the free throw line, right? I mean, he's their guy. He's got 29 in the game. Keep the ball out of his
79% free throw shooter. Second, Dawson Hancock's a 68% free throw shooter. So
do you let Trevor Schultz catch it? Do you let Jace Moore catch it? I mean, again, those are things they've probably figured out. They're going to actually put
Schultz
Wilkinson all the way back.
Yeah.
Carter Wilkinson, the only one that can't foul unless he just has to give one up. Good job by Wall.
Kierstead just wants the ball in his hands, too.
And Luthmer's never fouled. Wall is going to run this out. They were trying to get it to the right person, and they never could get a foul on whoever that right person may be.
Well, and I'm sure Coach Gruenhagen probably talked to him about we don't want Kierstead, you know, we don't want to foul him, but at some point you just got to pick your poison too to save a little bit of time.
Well, and they had 2 chances down here right away, and it's like they were waiting for the right person to get it.
Yeah.
30 on the game for Kierstead. On the other side, Grant Wilkinson at 40 points in this ball game, and looks to be right now like maybe in a loss. Tie ball game. Wall wants to talk about it. They're going to set up a defense to figure out, do not foul on a shot.
Well, actually not a bad thing right now with only 2 fouls, so.
Oh yeah, well, they could foul right away, so just don't let them over the top. 3.1 to play. Again, we'll catch up with the winning coach. I might have a time to walk down there to catch him this time because they're going to celebrate a little, whoever wins this one with their team. What a battle. A 1-point lead for Wall at halftime. You go, fast forward to the end of the third.
When DeSmit got up by 6 or 7, didn't they? And
I don't have that in front of me, but
kind of held that lead for the majority of the. That stretch in the third. Emmett Dinger hit that little floater, and then he hit that 3. Was huge for Wall. That's got him the lead back for that 1-point lead. And
yeah, I mean, obviously Thielen with the 30 has been huge, but little things in the middle there, like you just talked about. Only 3 guys have scored in this fourth quarter. Dinger's got 5. Moore had 1 free throw, and then Thielen Kierstead with 4, 6, 9 in this fourth quarter. But only Luthmers and Grant Wilkinson have scored for DeSmit in this quarter. Here it comes. Wilkinson will fire it. Carter Wilkinson, turnaround 3, no good. Grant gonna not get it in time. And DeSmit will go to the consolation bracket. Wall will advance to the championship semifinals. I'll switch over to the handheld here. Wow, what a ball game, Steve.
Yeah.
What a game.
Great game by both teams. Well played. We talked about it. Who wanted to control tempo and be in charge of that. you saw it. Both teams battled throughout.
40 for Grant Wilkinson, 31 for Thielen Kierstead. What a ball game in our final game of the opening day. What a day of hoops here in the Class B state tournament.
Yeah, it absolutely was. We talk about how great this atmosphere is and what Aberdeen does to roll out the red carpet for these teams and schools and towns and stuff, and then to back it up with 4 basketball games like that is pretty impressive. So
yeah,
it's fun to sit here and call them.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We'll start it again tomorrow morning. Again, they're putting their sticker on the board, but we'll start it again tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. We'll be on the air, and then our championship semifinals will go on the air at 5 o'clock tomorrow night. And boy, what a championship semifinal we should have. We kick it off with the upstart Lyman Raiders, and they'll look to try to advance, if they can, out of that bracket with Castlewood.
Yeah, Lyman Castlewood's going to be a nice matchup, I think. Lyman's got some size, maybe not quite as big as Castlewood, but you know, you saw Camden Kessler today go for 30 and just kind of put the Warriors on his back there. And Lyman, hats off to them for their 8-over-1 upset of Viborg Hurley, and I thought just played a tremendous game, and you know, the way they took care of their stuff in that one.
For sure. Ryan Kierstead joins us, and we were watching you and the excitement on your sidelines, and then I looked in the book. First time ever in a state championship semifinal playing at night. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was awesome. We knew that we had this capacity within us the whole time, and I'm just so happy for our kids that we came out and performed on the big stage. But you have to give your hat to Grant Wilkins, I mean the whole team, but my goodness, that kid is a stud down low. Really good battle, fun game, but yeah, just so proud of our kids and their grit, continuing to battle, and just, yeah, a lot of work went into that win. About 9 years of work went into that win right there. So.
Sure. Thielen with the big game, obviously 31 for him, and I mean, he just does what he does. Emmett Dinger hit a big 3 late for you guys that everybody just kind of came together.
Yeah, I mean, yep, that's just who we are. I mean, we got so many guys that stepped up. Jace Moore got to the free throw line for us. I mean, just defensively, asked some guys to do. Trevor Schultz and younger Amy, how about the job they did on Grant? Yeah, he had some points, but I mean, he's a stud. So yeah, just really proud overall of the effort. Obviously, Thielen Emmett do some nice things for us at all times, but really a good team win. Dawson Hancock guarding #1 the entire game and just doing a really good job. He's a good player. So I mean, everybody played their role, and it was just a great team win overall. So
lastly, take a look at it. You obviously know who you're going to play tomorrow night in Freeman, and as a fan, it is Track Meet City maybe tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, we get a little, hopefully, revenge. We didn't play so well against them in the Corn Palace. We're 1-1. We won last year in the Constellation. They got us this year. So, yeah, they're a good squad, really good kids, and it's just going to be a great, fun atmosphere basketball. So,
congratulations on the win. Go enjoy the locker room experience.
Thank you.
Ryan Kierstead and the Wall Eagles are headed to the state championship semifinals tomorrow night. We'll take a break, come back, recap, and talk things over. You're watching Class B State Boys Basketball Championship Basketball on SD.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Peterson reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
From Walks Arena, it's a little quieter now as folks start to file out into the hallway, and they'll hang around, some of them waiting for their teams to come back out of the locker rooms. But, well, you can just sense it in Ryan Kierstead. He just wanted to explode with excitement, and he should, the way his team played and battled. And again, you have a 5 over a 4 today, an 8 over a 1, a 6 over a 3, and the 2 seed is the only upper seed that wins. Just shows the strength of this tournament that we talked about early.
Yeah, and we mentioned it before, too. Just cross those numbers off. I mean, the seeds, other than who you're playing the first round, I think honestly don't mean much when you get to this point in the season. And you saw that today, eight teams that battled and 4 great basketball games, and looking forward to 4 more tomorrow.
I think they shorted Grant Wilkinson a rebound. He was at 19. That last one is a loose ball read. He chases that down and tries to get 3. The rebound counts, that gives him 20. So not that it matters, but that's a 40-point, 20 rebound game.
40-20 is not bad to put on the shelf. But,
wow.
Yeah, Grant, he did yeoman's work, like we said before, for DeSmit. Luthmers with 11. DeSmit just struggled from deep, 1 of 18 from the 3-point line tonight. Wall, I think credit goes to them too with the way they defended. They got after it, sped DeSmit up a little bit. In the second, third quarter, that's when, in the beginning of the fourth, that's when DeSmit kind of got it into their tempo and how they wanted to play it, and that's when Grant kind of took over. But Keelan Kierstead, 31 points, perfect 9 of 9 from the free throw line. You talked about with Coach Emmett Dinger, hit that big one. He ended with 10 points. Dawson Hancock, and I was going to mention that earlier in the game too. I thought maybe not filling up the stat sheet on the offensive end of the floor or anything like that, but I thought Dawson Hancock just kind of controlled tempo too with the way he defended
Luthmers
and kept Luthmers kind of out of the paint. Now Noah did shake free for a few and finished with 11, but I think hats off to Hancock too, like Coach Kierstead said, for his efforts on that end of the floor.
What a ball game. 21 of 48 was Wall for 43%. 24 of 62 were the Bulldogs for 38%. It was a 41-25 rebound battle as DeSmit won that rebound. Grant Wilkinson almost out-rebounded Wall by himself. He had 20, they had 25. But again, in the end, the big number is the 60-57 win for Wall. Come back. Recap, set up tomorrow, get out of here for the night. Let us everybody get some rest, get ready for day number 2. You're watching boys basketball for Class B state championships on SDP.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
From Walks Arena and the Barnett Center in Aberdeen, campus of Northern State University, Brad DeBeer alongside Steve Erickson as we take a look at how today's action went. Seems like we started this 2 days ago. It's been a great day of hoops. It went fast, but it was long at the same time. Viborg Hurley falls to Lyman 49-44 to open up play today. And then it was Castlewood over Aberdeen Christian 53-50. Again, the 8 over the 1, the 5 over the 4. Then the 2 seed holds on to win over Sully Butte, says Freeman wins 63-55. And then Wall, the 6 seed, pulls the numbers upset again over DeSmit 60-57. Sets up tomorrow evening here. It'll be 5 o'clock Central Time. Lyman and Castlewood in our first championship semifinal, and 6:45 or so the Freeman Wall championship semifinal. Now the consolation round gets underway with Viborg Hurley and Aberdeen Christian at 11 a.m. And then, of course, Sully Buttes will take on DeSmit at approximately 12:45. Again, that'll all be tomorrow right here from Walks Arena. To the guys and gals from Bison, thanks for the work on the cameras once again. We'll do it again all tomorrow in the back room. BA and Levi, of course, and Christian. Thank you guys. Steve, great first day. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it, and join back in for tomorrow for 4 more good ones.
For Steve Erickson, I'm Brad DeBeer from Walks Arena in Northern State University in Aberdeen. Have a good night, everybody.